Welcome everybody to Welcome to Neo Rey, the kickoff for the Screamer competitive scene. Scream if you love Screamer. That includes you guys with me on the Discord. Scream if you love Screamer. Come on. We a little more hype. A little more hype. That was supposed to be an introduction to my co-host. My name is Nightspeed. I am one of the hosts for today's event. Joining me are my two co-hosts, Milla and Destello Joker. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
All right. Hello, my name is Milla, and I will be one of the co-commentators and casters for the Welcome to Neo Rey today. Joker.
My name is Destello Joker. I'm going to be the other co-commentator today. I'm just going to say this right now. Favorite character in the game? I want to hear what you guys think. I'm just saying this right now. I am a big Fermi lover. We love Fermi in this household, baby!
As is tradition with the tournament crew running the tournament here, I am in love with Announcer. Announcer is so good, both in-game and with her personality in the story as well. I couldn't agree more with you on Fermi as well. Fermi is truly a top-class character as well.
Honestly, I'm hoping that we see a couple of Announcer players today. Hopefully we see a couple Fermi players. There's a lot of really cool characters in this game. I'm very excited to see what we're going to be seeing today. Now, one of the other characters I'm very interested in seeing is actually how Gregor stands in the current meta and how Gregor as a character is going to pan out, really. What do you think on Gregor right now, Milla?
Gregor is very underutilized based on races that I've seen across the Screamer Online community. Great community, by the way. His ability to ramp up over the course of a race is definitely desirable, and he has some of the best stats in the game after he manages to get there. But a lot of people are turned off from using Gregor simply because it may just take too long for him to get to where he needs to be.
Now, I'm really interested to see if we get a few tracks that are really good for Announcer, a few tracks really good for Gregor, because these are characters that both like to ramp up and they really want to get to their maximum potential. Announcer especially, so if Announcer can get to her max potential, we could see some crazy stuff happen with Announcer. Who knows what's all going to happen, though. Gregor, we're probably going to see more Gregors than Announcers, unfortunately, because he feels like a little more splashable on some of these maps, but it might just be my opinion. Is there any other characters you're interested in seeing today, Milla?
I'm more focused on the leaders. The leader distribution is going to be interesting as well. One leader that I don't expect to see very much in this tournament is Mr. A, actually. Would you agree with that?
I can actually see that. The big thing with Mr. A, from my perspective at least, I haven't been playing a lot of leader, I'm more of a member player, but from what I've seen with Mr. A, he's a very fantastic time attack character, very powerful, very potent when it comes to time attack, very fast. It's very hard to keep up with him. But when it comes to online play, if he's got to contend with a lot of these other leaders that have to just straight up fist fight him, he's probably going to struggle quite a lot, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Maybe we'll get a couple Mr. A's that actually prove me wrong here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how people go about choosing their leaders for the people that are playing leaders. Which leader do you expect to see the most?
I'm expecting, out of all the leaders, it's going to be dependent on track, but I would actually I think we're going to see Nowaru the most, and then Ritsuko might be very short, or very behind, or slightly behind him, sorry. I can definitely see both of them, though. They both have really good handling. They both have really good sync and entropy generation. They both have a lot of potential to actually just keep front running and even take out some of the other leaders that are trying to contest them. A lot of potential for these two characters. I think it's going to be hard to see some characters like Gabriel. I'm not expecting a lot of Gabriels, but if we get something like Cradles, we could actually see Gabriel. But unfortunately, Block A, from what we're thinking, will not have it, right?
Oh, the Cradles does not appear in the Block A track list. Speaking of which, let's segue into talking about the format for the for Block A. Joker, over to you.
Alrighty. So today, with day one, we are going to be doing 2 different blocks today, with a total of 5 teams each. It's going to be very important here that all these teams play to the best of their ability. They try their hardest, because there is a lot of stuff that's going to be placing a lot of emphasis on getting as many points as possible. Placement's one of those things that you don't have to worry about too much, obviously, because KOs are going to be very important. We'll see how that pans out. Now, we do have 8 tracks in rotation here with these teams. It's going to be very impressive to see how they play on these 8 tracks. They were all randomly selected, and very interested to see how each player adapts their characters, things of that nature. Now, if I'm correct, only 2 teams with the most points will progress from each block. Am I correct on that, Milla?
Yes, out of the 5 teams in both Block A and Block B, only the top 2 teams will be progressing on to day 2.
Now, this is where it's going to get interesting is how are some of these teams going to play, especially right now with how early the meta is in development. Do you think we're going to see a lot more combat-based gameplay, or are we going to see some people just straight up just trying to front run and get as many positional points as possible and try to avoid getting KO'd as much as possible? What are you thinking? Are we going to see a mix of that?
I think it'll be dependent on what track we see. For example, something like Downtown Run, I think the leaders are mostly just going to be trying to fight for those positions. Maybe we see the members brawl a little bit on Downtown Run, but I'm expecting that to mostly be to be a little bit more running. But on something like, I think Belly of the Beast actually is a pretty good combat track in my opinion. Do you happen to agree with that?
I can actually agree with that. Belly of the Beast is one of those tracks that has a very congested shortcut that makes it very hard for some of these players to actually get through with unscathed. If one person messes up, especially during one of the later laps, it can lead to an insanely easy KO on some of these players, so they gotta be very cautious of it. And the worst part is, on a track like Belly of the Beast with the shortcut, you cannot take the alternative path. It's just so much slower that the shortcut's usually gonna be faster. Unless there's like a 5-car pileup, you might as well just try to shoot for that shortcut and get through. We'll have to see how these players adapt to certain situations where there's people getting stuck in these shortcuts because they miss a line just barely.
Yeah, shortcuts are a high-risk, high-reward solution on some of these tracks, especially on Belly of the Beast. It can be really awkward to get that lineup. So we'll see how the teams handle it in the upcoming race.
Are any of these tracks your favorite by chance, Milla? Do you like any of these tracks at all, or do you find some of these tracks to be a little more not too particularly fond of these, but they're still pretty cool?
I actually like a lot of the tracks in this rotation. Route 1N is probably one of my favorite Class C tracks. Ashes to Ash is also another one up there. A lot of people don't really like Downtown Run, but I actually think Downtown Run is a pretty solid beginner track as well. Although when we do talk about beginner tracks, that doesn't mean they're devoid of strategy. You can employ a lot of strategy on all three of the tracks that I just mentioned, and it'll be interesting to see how teams go about it.
I'm very interested to see how Downtown Run goes for these players, because Downtown Run obviously is one of the most played tracks, one of the most T8 tracks. So there's definitely going to be a lot of optimized play down here in Downtown Run, especially with Overdrive. I'm actually expecting to see a lot of players utilize Overdrive very well here on this track, whereas like somewhere like Belly of the Beast, we're probably not going to see too many Overdrives happen. Belly of the Beast is one of those tracks that I'm more skeptical on if Overdrive is even physically possible. Same thing with maybe Steel Bowels, I can see that as well. I can even see Sector Storage is going to be very difficult to actually see any sort of Overdrive use, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe the players will shock me and prove me wrong here.
All right.
Well, as it seems right now.
Oh no, sorry for cutting in. Finish your thought.
I was gonna say, as we see now, the Block A players are all loaded in and ready to race.
All right, perfect. Yes, we got everybody. We are going to go ahead and move into the actual game. Let me unmute the game on my side of things so everybody can actually hear it. Perfect. And now we're gonna head into private. So we're gonna go straight into team racing. I want to talk a little bit about the team race format. So everybody's gonna be in a group of 3. By the way, yes, please let me know if the game volume is too loud. All right, is this better? I didn't really carry over my settings, unfortunately, because this is on a completely different account. Okay, perfect. And if you guys can let me know if Mila and Joker are coming through, that's fine. So we're gonna have trios.
Hello.
Default number of laps. AI is off. We're not having AI for this one. We're not gonna worry about that. 15. We're gonna be going off with like maximum chaos, starting off with everybody in the lobby. But we are making one change. Gage's Finest is gonna be on. We don't want any. A little lower. Okay, perfect. Thank you for the heads up. All right, yeah, we don't want any broken parts interfering with the collisions. So we're gonna go ahead and create the lobby. First track, as we said, is going to be Route 1N. Now we just got to make sure everybody's in the right spot. I am going to move over to spectator, right? And now we just got to make sure everybody arranges themselves into the correct order. And once that's all cleared up, we're going to go ahead and start. In the meantime, Route 1N. You guys talked about this a little bit briefly. What are we expecting as far as the roster goes? What are we expecting people to pick?
Milla, I'll let you start off here real quick before I get into my thoughts.
For leaders, I definitely think Hiroshi is a fairly strong pick. Hiroshi and Noboru are the 2 leaders that I'm expecting to see here on Route 1N, just because the track doesn't seem to have that many winding turns. It has a few, but Hiroshi's unstable boost will generally let him keep speed around the few turns on this track. What do you think?
Honestly, you couldn't have said it better than me. I think genuinely Hiroshi and Noboru have like the best odds of showing up here, especially on a track such as Route 1N. I think maybe we'll see someone pull out the Ritsuko here. Very maybe. I think we can also essentially see someone pull out Gabriel, trying to go for some more KOs, since this track seems pretty good for both these characters. But I think especially with Gabriel, because the track isn't like, it isn't so windy to the point Gabriel can't play on it, but it isn't too straight of a line that he's just going to get a bunch of free KOs. But I think mostly it's going to be Noboru and Hiroshi 100%.
I think the odd Ritsuko is possible, but yeah, like we mentioned, I expect to see.
It's not a
Hiroshi
terribly
and
curvy
Noboru here.
track. That's the biggest thing, right? It's
Yeah.
yeah. So we Route 1N, one of the beginner tracks. Great place to start off. I personally love the aesthetic of this track.
Now, in terms of members, though, I'm actually very interested to see what members we see. I'm more than likely we're going to see Akane, very common character, very strong character. Keiji is pretty sure he's pretty new when it comes to
let's take a look at the
how good
roster
he
that's
is.
coming in right now. Just give it a little bit to load. Come on, game, you can do this. Please, no technical. Yes, perfect. Okay, quick, we gotta look at this. Interesting layout. You guys were right. We saw some Gabrielle. All right, let's go ahead.
Very good.
Starting off with a Gabrielle
Now.
right off the bat, too. Perfect. Look at that traffic on the left. Okay, so Blade's off to a perfect start. Prodigy up. We're going to see a lot of leaders dueling up at the front right here, right? These guys are going to take off further ahead. Unfortunate collision right off the bat for Saeed. How are we feeling about that?
It's at the very beginning of the race, so again, nothing that they can't recover from, especially for a leader. They're meant to be going to the front, even if they get set back a little bit.
On this track,
on this.
There's a lot of potential for breaking away, but it's also kind of dependent on whether or not you can take the shortcut. And we saw a lot of people not attempt the shortcut. It's pretty risky this early on. Mule repping that Soul Fermi. We're going to see if that converts into a win and some points. So one thing you guys might be noticing is that there is a little bit of disconnect between the spectating and the actual physics of the game. But we're seeing, I think, our first KO of the match. Was that a KO or was that just an unexpected fight? That was definitely a KO from KF, leveling up Gregor right off the bat. You guys were talking about Gregor, right? How do we think we're gonna see a lot more Gregors this tournament?
We definitely did not expect to see a ton of Gregors this tournament, but it's good to see that someone is trying to make them work, especially.
It's very interesting to see Gregor on this track.
Oh, there's Prodigy with the cut.
One of the biggest things with Gregor on this track is because it's so long and it's 5 laps, he can easily get up to maximum potential right away. I am expecting to see a lot of Gregor KOs potentially the longer this track goes, especially if some people mess up on this cut. It could be very good for Gregor here.
Yeah,
Roshin taking this cut very well here.
We're seeing Roshin. We're seeing Gore is such a good Roshin player. Hasn't been able to convert a KO just yet, but let's see if this does turn into one on one of TLR's members. A very strong team, but not quite catching up. We're going to move over to BFXD, another one of TLR's. Oh, did not convert into a KO, and that really unfortunate. That just sapped BFXD of all his speed right there. That's the risk of going for a strike, right? Like, if you get shielded, you just lose all that strike momentum instantly.
BFXD not in the greatest of spots. In 8th place as a leader. It's not where you want to be.
Yeah, but I mean, Killer Frost is just really good with that defense. Okay, Osti, what happened here? We missed out, but I'm gonna go ahead, swap over to Fuji real quick. A lot of people are trying to take the shortcut. That turned into a KO. Catching up to Narcissus doesn't really turn into much. Missed again. So it's not just that Narcissus popped the shield, Fuji just also missed straight away. Blade up here with a pretty sizable lead on second place.
150 meters over Prodigy got skills.
Although Prodigy is catching up, and now you see Blade is scared. Blade does not want to get KO'd right here. Prodigy just popped OD.
Blade is on the shortcut. Prodigy's ahead now. Oh, they're dueling for first. Very close.
We're gonna have to check the rest of the map real quick. Yuke is pushing up with Akane. Let's see how this turns into Another shortcut attempt? Yeah, we're seeing, okay, someone right behind. Everybody wants to pile onto that shortcut and start going from there. Not a perfect, unfortunately. We do want to be seeing more perfects. Did not take the cut too cleanly from Faulty.
Faulty braking to avoid the overdrive from Osterhovel. Sorry, but
yeah, let's see Mule. I want to see some more of that Fermi power. We see that the leaders have just crossed the finish line. We are on the final lap from the leaders. Still a ways to go for some of these racers. If you take a look at the minimap on the bottom right, look at that spread. Like, everybody's basically just solidified their position. Do we think that green has any chance at does blue have any chance at taking it back from green?
I mean, there's a leader duel going up in front. Seems like on the minimap, but green might be pulling away. It's never too late though. We still have a lot to go.
It really is never too late. There must have been an OD pop nearby. Bucket with the hope. Let's see, is this going to be an OD attempt? I'm expecting a fight here. Strike baiting. Not quite. Oh, blue pulled away. Blue has 340. Let's take a look. Prodigy.
Oh, I think Green got KO'd. I saw them slow down on the map.
Yeah, Prodigy taking first place. Sight finishing with second, and Blade in third. I gotta eat my words. It's like what happened yesterday when we were practicing, Milla. I can't speak too early.
Exactly. You never know. The race is not over until you cross the finish line.
I kind of want to see Gore take this OD all the way to the end. Come on, don't hit the walls. Don't hit the walls.
Oh, it's so close though.
Close. Okay, perfect. You know what? A great way to end it, at least. Okay.
Amazing work.
We got this duel at the end.
I think it'll just be Osterhovel in 14th and Faulty.
The race
15th.
is essentially over. Yeah, so now we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take great stuff from Prodigy, taking that first place. I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot this. Oh,
it seems like Blue is the winner of this first race with 335 points, 35 points ahead of second.
So 195 from Prodigy. That's 3 KO, 70 points on second place. Other than that, I mean, you're seeing not too bad. Every point matters at the end of the day, right? Like, if you can score that extra KO, that might just be what it takes to take your team over the top.
Right. Very well said, Knight.
Yeah. By the way, real quick. All right, we're gonna see a few leaders. So we might see some leader swaps. People might decide to swap around their players for different, like someone who is a member might turn into a leader. And that sort of flexibility is kind of what we want to see. If you have the leaders are essentially S class and members are A class. This is multi-class racing, but if you can handle the two different speed types, the two different speed classes, that's a testament to your skills. So let's go ahead up to one of the later game tracks, Steel Bowels. I'm gonna wait for everybody to be ready. In the meantime, Joker and Milla, the floor is yours. You guys are gonna commentate for the rest of this block while I handle the back end.
All good. Joker, why don't you talk a little bit about Steel Bowels? As Nightspeed said, it's one of the later game tracks, and one of the only times the later game track appears in this block. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna be honest, for a later game track, from just the looks of it, you would actually assume that this track isn't really that impressive when it comes to difficulty, especially from the looks of it. But when you look at this track a little more in depth, you can actually see a lot of very tough 90 degrees, especially where the track almost nearly touches itself. So this is one of the big things that people got to really worry about, is these 90-degree turns are going to be very tough. If for characters like Rasheen and Hina, where they're able to potentially get a lot of strikes off very consistently, these 90-degree turns might actually be super, super good for these characters. And I feel like we're going to see a lot of Nubaru for that reason. Nabarro is able to generate so much entropy. I think he's actually going to be able to use a lot of strikes on these 90-degree bends. Make sure that he's able to take it as fast as humanly possible without having to get into any potential danger with other people trying to KO him. What do you think on that?
Yeah, so Nabarro is going to be a powerhouse here as long as he can keep his SGU on these straights, which allows him to get a lot of entropy for the corners, like you mentioned. So it's going to be interesting to see just exactly how he chooses to spend his entropy. Let's take a look at the roster here for Steel Bowels, see what we got. What is this that we're seeing here, Joker?
So, Mule's still sticking on to the Fermi. We still have Nabarro from Godskills. Sight's still sticking on to, I believe this is, I can't tell for sure.
There's a few Rizukos here.
Just about to say, we got a lot of Rizukos here. Rizzuko is actually not bad for this map, especially with all these bends. Rizzuko is actually able to really take control of a lot of these turns very well. We actually do see another Fermi coming out from, I believe that was Dizzy. Gore on the Hina. Hina makes sense here as well. But we still see what I believe is this a Frederick or is this Hope? This is Hope, actually.
This is Hope.
I'm actually not surprised Hope's here. For a 5 left track, takes the cut actually very cleanly. Very well done by BFX. It's one of these tracks where this cut is so narrow, it's very hard to take
carnage very soon.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like we're going to see it later in the race, and Ritsuko's very good here for that reason. This shortcut makes it very easy for her to generate her hype, which allows her to get a lot of sync and entropy, being able to really utilize a lot of potential uptime with her sync, and even being able to get some kills. Prodigy looks like he's trying to...
here? What is Prodigy doing? He had a sizable lead.
I think he probably made a mistake, hit the wall, and he's trying to maybe avoid getting hit by Ritsuko, trying to bait out maybe a strike or something here. Fuji slowly catching up to BFX here, maybe looking to get a strike. BFX with a good shield.
On BFXD.
Now, you gets a shield on. I think there was a strike about to happen, but it might have been a strike bait from Sight. Sight's trying to catch back up right now on the Nabarro, which is not bad. Hopefully we can see what happens here. Maybe Lavinia, unfortunately, doesn't have any strikes charged up. We see Drizzy here trying to make something happen, but unfortunately, didn't have any shields. Unfortunate here. Faulty Pursuit taking the cut. Does hit BFX out of it.
BFX bumped out of the cut. But he missed the KO.
Even with the miss KO, unfortunate that he couldn't get any more sync generated here. But it could translate later out in the race. We're going to see what ends up happening here. Looks like we see Ritsuka from Osthovel here at the front here with a pretty sizable lead on Narcissus here. Wonder how close this Prodigy just took over back with the Nabarro. Sights trying to catch up to these guys. Narcissus is not too far behind the leaders, which is really nice to see. But one of the big things is I want to see how he's going to really utilize Katie's overdrive. I wonder if he's going to be able to use it. Bucket with the perfect boost. Maybe he's trying to catch up here, so even get a quick KO on someone. But it looks like Mule's right in front of him.
The 5 entropy bars. Bucket here.
He's trying really hard. Now, one of the things I'm actually curious about is if the Gregors actually do have if they're fully upgraded now. Who knows for sure? Killer Frost here. He's trying to catch back up. Looks like he's very close to getting. He's very, very close to getting his level 2 out. So he's going to try to get a kill on you. Gets the kill on you. And he's in a very good position. That one KO is leading him to get his tier 2. Now he's going to be absolutely insane. Mule holding a strike back, making sure he's got a shield ready just in case anything happens here. Goes for the shield.
Pops the shield. Prodigy pops overdrive and KOs.
Gets the KO on Blade. Bug gets blindsided.
Wow.
A lot of hectic stuff going on this track. This is where Steel Battle is all about. A lot of these turns makes it very hard to make any good breakaway. But we do see that there's a lot of good fighting amongst the leaders and even the members here. We do see that there's one person...
has an insane breakaway, by the way. Look at the lead.
He's got a pretty sizable lead, but I think there's one... I don't know which member is all the way in the back there. We do see one straggler all the way in the back, though, unfortunately, trying to catch up. And I think on these turns is able to catch up here. Gore is trying to take the shortcut. Unfortunately, gets bounced.
Oh.
But,
oh my goodness.
Man went to the back rooms for a second. Unfortunately, this is not the game for that. Look at
what is happening on this shortcut, Joker.
This is what I was talking about earlier. 20-car pileup, making it very hard to actually take these cuts, and we're going to be seeing a lot of KO come out. Unfortunately, we did divert from that pretty quickly here. This is what these shortcuts are all about. If one person messes up, everyone's going to be messing up, and it's going to lead to a lot of KOs or a lot of shields, which can lead to a lot of shenanigans here. Good shield from Ost here. One of the greatest time shields. Very quick. Now he's going to take this cut really well here. Going to get unfortunately not a perfect boost, but it's going to give him a nice lead. Seija is getting kind of
pile up on lap 5 of the shortcut. This could be so important. Shield's coming out.
Now the question is, how is this end going to be? Does anyone have overdrive built up? Does anyone have a strike ready? Sage with the good strike here, able to get a very good turn here. Now the question is,
overdriving toward the end. He's about to cross the finish line, and he comes first.
now we got 1 minute to see what ends up happening here. Right now, TLR is in the lead right now with 325, but that doesn't mean green team's out of the running right now. With 315, only one more KO, and they can actually secure first place here. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Maybe even if blue can get a couple more positions and another KO or two, potentially they could take second place from green instead. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here.
It seems like all of green team has crossed the line, so they will not be overtaking purple here.
Now the question is, can yellow actually overtake blue here? Are we going to see this happen here by chance?
No, it seems that everybody except for these two remaining race have finished the race. It was very close according to the minimap.
Extremely close. Still, very well done from all the players. Not too bad, genuinely. Again, this shortcut and on some of these other tracks like Belly of the Beast, we're going to see a lot of car pileups potentially, which could lead to a lot of KOs. I'm actually very shocked we didn't see too many shenanigans with the shortcut. A lot of these players were taking it very well here, especially with a lot of these other characters. Very, very well done from everyone here. Is there any pick that actually surprised you the most on this track by chance?
Hope was one that I wasn't expecting to see, if I'll be honest.
I think Hope definitely made sense for a 5-lap track that's pretty long here. She's able to really min-max on her uptime from having her max sync up. It's actually not too bad for this track. And this gives her a lot of...
The main problem that arises for Hope is that her SGU is not active very consistently, except on that final stretch.
It's a little unfortunate for that matter, but I still think it's really nice to see what ends up happening here. Give me 1 second here. All right. Now going on to Ashes to Ashes, actually a really good course for being a beginner. What we consider a beginner course at C rank, right? This is going to be very interesting to see what happens on Ashes to Ashes. Ashes to Ashes doesn't have too much going on for it. It's just going to be a lot of very clean driving from these players, so we might see a lot of breakaways here on this track. So I'm wondering if we're going to see more Hiroshi and more Noboru here instead of characters like Ritsuko. Who knows what's going to happen? I think we're going to see Akane coming back out here. Maybe we're going to see Roshin still. It's going to be very interesting to see what ends up happening on Ashes to Ashes. Is there anything you would like to add to Ashes by chance?
I definitely think Akane is a top pick on this track. We might. Fermi is also going to continue to be picked here. I think Fermi is fairly strong on this track. There's also a few others that I could see happening. Frederic is one of them. Frederic.
I honestly think we could see Frederic. The hardest part about him as a character, like genuinely, if I had to say anything, it's more the fact that Frederic as a character has to suffer from the fact that his strike is very similar to how overdrives function, so he's going to have to really play well without running into walls. But if he can get one strike off, he can really start taking off. It does come with the cost, obviously. But here, starting off with the race, it looks like we're going to see some Gregors. We're seeing Ritsuko. We're seeing Akemi, actually, on here. 2 Gregors. This is actually really interesting from the lineup perspective, but if everything lines up for Akemi could actually really chain kill here. We do see an announcer player, actually. This is very interesting to see. I'm very excited here.
An announcer on the field. Ooh.
Now, announcer on this track is actually very good. I've played announcer on this track once or twice before. Very good track for her, especially if she's able to consistently chain KOs. She's able to get so much of her style up. It's going to be very, very nice for her announcer here. Very interested to see what ends up happening with announcer. So
what do you think's going to happen on the shortcut here, as a matter of fact?
This shortcut, compared to a lot of the other shortcuts, is actually pretty easy to take. Now, the big thing is if someone's going to try to strike into the cut to see if they can try to snipe someone out of it. Unfortunately, as I say, it's easy. Blade gets hit with some weird collision, unfortunately. But he's not too far behind. BFX right behind him. Try it. Maybe looking to see if he can get a strike off here. Who knows, but it looks like we're going to see Ritsuko just drive off and get away from Akane.
Side is a very, very far breakaway already. 200 meters.
Trying to strike bait, and does get the strike bait. We see the shield coming out from Blade here. Blade's going to be in a little bit of a pickle here. We could see BFX actually get this strike on Blade. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell, but it looks like BFX did not get the strike on. Very unfortunate for BFX. That would have been really good and would have chained into a lot of A lot of sync, making it very hard for Akane to get stopped here. We do see Gregor's almost already at tier 2 on lap 2. That's actually very impressive to see. Probably he's gotten a KO or 2 by now. That's
KOs help so much, because if you can get the KO off, you get 2 more uses of your boost, which significantly increase your progression. They're 1 away from tier 2.
It's going to be... I can't wait to see this Gregor actually start
Next up, Fuji, go for the kill. Oh, shielded by Narcissus.
Unfortunately, I think Narcissus trying to counter back and does get the counter back.
Oh, and he gets the kill!
Now, Sight's just front running out of his mind. He's trying to get away from all the chaos here, trying to make sure he can secure this top 150 points for first place here. We see Fuji here doesn't have a strength build up to hit anyone in this shortcut. Very unfortunate for Fuji. You going with overdrive here.
The overdrive.
Now the question is,
will they get the hit?
That's one.
They will.
Are we going to see a chain here, or is it gonna fizzle out? Who knows for sure here. Unfortunately, it may look like Akemi's not going to get it, but we're going to see. Does he get up to Drizzy? Does he get the Seija? Final spar. Does get the kill in first. He's looking to go for a third. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to get it. Does he get it on Asta? Oh, barely misses on Asta. Unfortunately,
and their shooting star turned into flaming wreckage, but not without causing carnage on the field first, Joker.
Very well done from the Akemi, really securing a lot of points there, putting their team into first place right now off of KOs. Narcissus going with the... Narcissus looking to dodge this overdrive. Bucket barely misses it, but we do see another KO right in front from Prodigy. Very well done. And Narcissus trying to trade back, does not get the trade back, unfortunately.
Misses Prodigy.
We do see a couple KOs go up front here. Looks like the person with overdrive might have exploded here. Faulty's got in a really good position, get a lot of KOs. What are we going to see here? A lot of people are exploding here. It's absolutely chaos here. Now we do see Mule and Bucket here in the back. Are we going to see these two really start pushing up here? Maybe get a couple kills here. Try to give their team a few more points here. Who knows for sure what we're going to see? We'll just have to wait and see.
One thing I know for sure.
Fuji.
And not much time. Oh, Killer
Doesn't
Frost
even go for the
kill.
strike bait. Very good kill from Killer Frost. We are seeing a lot of people change between strike baiting and just full sending on the strike. It's very nice to see, genuinely. A lot of people are playing it, trying to play as safe as possible to secure points. We do see Fermi.
Drizzy.
Unfortunate, Drizzy could not avoid the strike here. Well, unfortunately, Drizzy doesn't even have a strike built up of their own. This is going to be very unfortunate because Fermi is one of the best characters when it comes to strike chaining. His strike is just so long that he's able to get so much sync off if he can chain even one kill. Prodigy taking the bend really well with Roshin. Roshin with the one strike, or the one cost entropy strike is very nice for taking these tough bends. Making it very easy, and especially on these shortcuts, makes it very easy for it to look for KOs.
On the cut as well, which allows
Does he go for Gore? Strike baits on Gore. Gore doesn't fall for it, and Gore gets taken out anyways.
Kill and Prodigy with the shield.
Very good shield, very fast, very well timed. Mule actually setting up with an S-rank announcer here. Going to be generating a lot of...
SS now as they go in overdrive. Let's see what happens.
Does Mule get any KOs here during overdrive? Fuji does go
kill
down.
That's
Fuji. Gore is trying to avoid this. Unfortunately, Gore does avoid it. Mule still got half of his overdrive laps. He's probably going to look to see if he can get any more KOs. I think the next person is still pretty far away. Actually,
Sight's finishing right first, by the way.
Sight's already done. Very impressive by Sight.
Look at the scoreboard. Look how far Green is ahead. They have almost 400 points, Joker.
Green's been chaining a lot of KOs this race. It's been very well done from Team Green. Absolutely insane here. I'm actually very impressed that they have 385 right now. They're 100 points up on everyone else. It's going to be very interesting to see if anyone can even come back from this. I don't think Yellow's got enough KOs in the tank to be able to get it by the time this race ends, unfortunately. It'll be very impressive if they do make through it or make anything do with it. Ooh, a little bit of jank, unfortunately, on the shortcut.
Just pushed off that cut.
Fuji falls down. Fortunate Fuji is not able to land. Sage is trying to get up here. They got 15 seconds left. And unfortunately, I think first, second, and third are secured. Fourth and fifth are fighting to see who's not going to end last. And it looks like fourth is going to... Team Ren's actually going to end with 290 points. We've got 5 seconds. Can Blue Team make anything happen here in the very last second? Unfortunately, they cannot. Very unfortunate for Blue Team here, but very well done from each team, especially Team Green, with a lot of KOs with Hope and Gregor. That's absolutely insane to see. Genuinely one of the most impressive showings of KOs. Holy.
4, 5, 5, 5. There are so many people with at least 4 KOs on the board right now. How do you feel about this result?
This makes, honestly, I expect it to be a lot of KOs. There's a lot of KOs on this board, especially on a track like Ashes to Ashes, where you have a lot of freedom to really start striking people down. This makes a lot of sense, in my opinion. Very, very impressive from each of the players. Genuinely, I'm very excited to see how this pans out for the next race. We're going into if I'm correct, we're going to be going into Sector Storage. This is another very interesting track, to say the least. This is going to be if I'm correct, a 3-lap track because of how long it is. Got a lot of bends, got a lot of 90 degrees.
It is 3-lap, yes.
This is going to be one of the more important things to worry about here. Is there's a lot of bends on this track. There's a lot of things to worry about, genuinely. I think we're going to see a lot of Roshin. We're going to see some Hina. We're going to see Ritsuko. I think we'll still see the Noboru. I don't think we're going to be seeing too many characters with bad steers and bad drift. It's going to be very interesting to see if we do see a couple characters that have low drift, low steer. And it looks like blue teams actually might be subbing someone out here.
Let's take a look.
We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here. Very excited to see what does happen, though.
What do you think? Who do you think are going to be the top member picks on Sector Storage, Joker?
Ooh, for Sector Storage, I think if people are pretty proficient with Roshin, I think Roshin actually is not a bad pick on Sector Storage because we're one cost entropy strike. That actually is very good on the track, such as this one where there's so many 90-degree bends. She can look to get a few cheesy KOs on these corners here, making it very hard for players to play around it. And if people have to spend their sync and miss the strike defense, right? They're not going to get that sync back, and it's going to be very detrimental on some of these longer straights that they can really min-max on their perfect boost. So it's going to be very interesting to see what ends up happening here. I think we're going to see Hina because there's so many bends here. We're going to see, but who knows for sure? I think Fermi's still a perfectly fine pick here. I think Akane, if players are proficient with her, can absolutely make her work here. And this is a very long track. We could see Gregor potentially still come back here, and even Hope. So I have to wait and see what ends up happening here. I think we could see all these characters very easily on this track, but who knows? I could be proven wrong here. We could see something very interesting here. Maybe we could see KG. We could see Akemi again somehow. It just really comes up to how these players feel about what characters they're picking. Very interested to see what ends up happening.
Certainly a
You
very
think Overdrive will be used?
Certainly a very technical track we're gonna have to see. Every color, thankfully we have every team mapped to a color. So we got the scrummers on. So yellow team is the scrummers. Just to be sure, everybody knows the teams. Yellow team is the scrummers. Red is Kuro Works. Blue is Street Saints. Green is the best of the best at 2%. And purple is the Lost Regiment. Back to you, Mila and Joker.
Thank you, Nightspeed, for this information for our viewers. And so let's take a look at Toxic right here. As you said, Joker, we got a Hina on the field.
I'm not too surprised about the Hina pick. The Hina pick makes a lot of sense, especially on this track. Now, I am very shocked to see there's an announcer, and unfortunately, a lot of jank goes down. We're seeing a lot of collision jank here. Ooh, even more.
These are rather tight corners, for sure.
But yes, I am still very, very shocked about the fact that we are seeing an announcer player here, and we're even seeing a Lavinia, and the Lavinia is playing really well here. Already taking a very early lead.
First?
The Prodigy's doing a very fantastic job actually pushing forward here, making it very hard for some of these leader cars to actually catch up. This is one of the few tracks that maybe members might be more important than leaders when it comes to actually running, or Prodigy could just be that good. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening and transpiring on lap 2 and 3. Looks like Yuki does dodge here on Fault. Faulty unfortunately couldn't get the KO, trying to get any kind of points here. Maybe potentially get some sync here to get pushed forward here. Now, I'm very interested to see how is this announcer going to be playing on this track, especially with so many bends. I'm feeling this announcer is going to hit a lot of walls. It's going to be very hard to keep style up. Narcissus looking for a strike bait. Does not bait anything out, unfortunately. Maybe he's just going to go for the strike. Misses the strike, I think. No, does. Unfortunately, misses. This is one of the tracks with actually a very easy and consistent shortcut out of all these other tracks. Shortcut's very easy to hit here. I think some of these people are just going too fast to take it, and they don't want to slow down, especially if there's a strike coming from behind them. Unfortunately, Faulty could not avoid this. Very unfortunate for Faulty. Bucket, I think, is trying to catch up here. Maybe look for even a strike on someone, but I think his teammate Sight's right in front of him, so he can't really look for too much on lap 2. But he's trying to get ahead of Sight, maybe. Maybe he's going to look for a KO on Ost here. We're going to have to wait and see what ends up happening here. Killer Frost on the Gregor still. Very interested to see where the Gregor is tier-wise. Oh, unfortunately.
Oh, Drizzy from the Lost Regiment got taken out.
Unfortunate for Drizzy. Is he going to get chained? He does not get chained.
Oh, no.
Gets out scot-free. Killer Frost short, a little bit behind what I believe is that Aisha on the field. Seeing an Aisha here is actually very interesting, but it makes a lot of sense.
There are
Aisha's
a lot of members in the top rankings, Joker.
There is a lot of members here. It's very interesting to see how many members are actually very close to top 5 here, especially with all these leader cars. You would think that picking Ritsuko or Noboru would make it a lot easier for the leaders to actually really drive forward and not have too much of a struggle, but some of these players are able to take these bends a lot slower. Mule with a good KO, able to chain it. Now the question is, can Mule get into another KO situation here, potentially look onto someone else? We do see all of the green team, aka, if I'm correct, that is best of the best. No, that's not best of the best. Now they are sitting here in the back. Seiji going for the
with an
overdrive.
overdrive though. They gotta be careful.
Gore actually on lap 3, still holding up to his perfect shield right now. Absolutely able to defend at least one attack from this Hina that I believe is an overdrive. Will the Hina get the hit? Actually uses a shield. Very interesting to see. Maybe it's a visual bug that we see the shield is safe. Who knows? No, it was not a visual bug, but does
and they
chain.
get KO'd!
Unfortunate for Gord, that one shield was just not enough, and Gord does actually pop another sync to defend from a shield, from a strike that unfortunately was not going to connect. Very unfortunate for Gord, and going to be very hard for him to catch up, especially with the sync generation being a little low. Also looking to see if he can shield bait one more time, maybe look to get this.
Look at the minimap though. Prodigy is absolutely demolishing everybody on this track right now, Joker.
It's absolutely insane to see right now. I think these two are trying. What is going on here? Holy, what is scenario? It's a little unfortunate that looked to be a little bit of a jank. BFX is trying to catch up here, trying to see if he can catch up to the other members, see if he can get any KOs. It's going to be a little hard here, especially with the fact that these bends, if he takes them even slightly wrong, it's going to be very hard to get anything out of them. We do see a clump pack of what I believe is 2 blue members and a red in the back here with
Yuki. The race.
Already finished the race? This is very interesting. Curlworks is got Yuki in the back. Maybe Yuki will look for potentially a KO here. Who knows for sure? Maybe try to get any more secured points to make sure that they can ensure 4th place is secured. Who knows for sure? Now, the question is, will they get any KOs? I believe that was Yuki with the KO. I couldn't tell for sure. His camera panned right last second. I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah, if we look at the leaderboard here, though, before the race ends, looks like the Scrummers have taken the match, despite Lavinia Prodigy from Street Saints having taken 1st place. As a matter of fact,
I just see Narcissus had a lot of KOs this race as well. Absolutely insane they had so many KOs.
Look at Scrummers though. Look at their positions: 2, 3, and 5.
Very good positions. Genuinely, that's absolutely insane. Very well done from them, genuinely. The fact they were able to get so many good positions here was absolutely insane, genuinely.
Yeah, it's really good to have your team up there, especially both of your members in the top 5. That's a huge booster for sure.
Give me one sec here. Got to get some score stuff taken care of. I am very sorry. Because that was our 4th race, I believe. We're going into Belly of the Beast. Now, Belly of the Beast, I'm actually very interested to see what ends up happening on Belly of the Beast. This is definitely a track that could have a lot of things occur. Question is, how is Belly of the Beast going to transpire here? Are we going to see are we going to see Fermi? Are we going to see Roshin? I do think we will. Fermi and Roshin are actually 2 very good characters on Belly of the Beast, in my opinion. I really like both these. That's actually where I played a lot of Fermi. I started practicing a lot of Fermi, was on Belly of the Beast initially. So I'm very interested to see if anyone else is going to be playing Fermi and really going to take off. I think Fermi's got a lot of potential in this track. That might just be me, though.
I think Mule Guy from the Scrummers actually is going to be playing Fermi, because they were playing Fermi pretty early on into the block here, Joker. So in case they decide to play Fermi, we'll be able to see how they handle Belly of the Beast. What I'm more interested about with Belly of the Beast is the shortcut, especially since we've seen some of these other shortcuts, like on Ashes to Ashes, become heavily congested with players, or on Steel Bowels. So we'll need to see how that interaction takes place, because I guarantee you, if people are going to be able to take the Belly of the Beast shortcut, they're going to take it, because it is a very, very strong shortcut.
There's almost no reason to not take it, honestly. It's going to be very interesting to see what ends up happening here, genuinely. Now, one of the biggest things I'm very curious about is, will anyone be interested in playing any sort of Hiroshi on this track? I don't think so. I think we're going to see a lot of Nabarro, a lot of Ritsuko. I don't think we're going to see Gabrielle. I don't think we're going to see Hiroshi. I don't think there's any reason to see them. Maybe we see Aisha here for the final straightaway, where she can really take advantage of her perfect boost, but we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here, genuinely. Very interested to see how it transpires, though.
Gonna update the scoreboard real quick. We're gonna take a quick break just to make sure everybody knows exactly where all the teams stand.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so you guys can keep talking about Belly of the Beast. Just wanted to let everybody on the stream know we're gonna be taking a quick break just to make sure the scores can show up.
While we are taking a quick break here to let Nightspeed tally up the scores for all 5 of our teams, let us know in the chat who you're rooting for to win Block A. We want to hear the hype.
I honestly am very excited to see how some of these teams continue, especially after that last race where we had a lot of KOs on some of these members, and especially on Ashes to Ashes with a lot of KOs on a lot of players. Seeing Killer Frost, Prodigy having 5 KOs each, very excited to see how this transpires here going forward. There's a lot of potential on a lot of these tracks, so I'm very, very curious what ends up happening here. Again, we'll just have to wait and see what does end up happening. Now, the question I'm more interested in seeing going forward is, will we see any unique picks? Will we continue to see some Frederick potentially on some of these tracks? Or are we going to see maybe Gabrielle? Is there any character you're more interested in seeing? Maybe Mr. A potentially? Are you interested in seeing be played?
Mr. A, or I like some people in the chat are saying, Big Dirk Energy.
I'd be very excited to see some Dirk. Dirk is a very, very interesting character, very fun character for that matter. So I want to see what ends up happening with Dirk. Honest to God, like, we could see a lot coming out from Dirk, or we could just see no Dirks at all. It's going to be very unfortunate if we don't see any Dirks. I would be very, very upset personally if there's no Dirk at all.
Yeah, we here over at Screamer Competitive love our Big Dirk Energy, and we love seeing it. We love seeing all of you in the chat bringing that same energy to the stream.
Now, one of the big things is I was actually very shocked we didn't see Dirk on Ashes to Ashes, especially since we saw an Akemi of all characters. Akemi is still very good for chaining KOs. I'm just very surprised that we just did not get to see Dirk at all. Dirk is one of those characters that's very, very good at chaining KOs, so I would not have been shocked if we saw some Dirk. Again, really unfortunate we did not see Dirk. I really hope that we do see Dirk maybe a little bit later.
Well, who knows? We have Block A, but there's also 8 races to play in Block B, so you never know what their character choice will be like here, Joker.
You're not wrong there. There's still a lot of game left to be played, so we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here. Now, do you think any of these...
Chat. Get the chat saying Big Dirk Energy. Yeah, sorry, Joker, go on.
Big Dirk Energy. We need more Big Dirk Energy in this field. That's what we need, baby. Now,
yep.
My question really does hinge on the fact that, do we think we're going to see any KGs by chance? Because I don't think we've seen a KG yet.
We saw a KG once. I don't remember which track it was on, but there was one KG at like the very beginning of the set, I believe.
Yes, actually it was. I'm sorry, it was Route 1N. We did see one KG. I'm actually very interested to see if we do see another KG. Again, just like Dirk, I'm very shocked we didn't see KG on Ashes to Ashes of all tracks. Ashes to Ashes, I feel like, would have been a very, very fantastic track for KG, without a doubt. Like, again, very interested to see if this is gonna change anywhere else. But hey, who knows for sure if it does. Now,
while we're waiting for Nightspeed over here to update the scoreboard, let's talk about our predictions. Are there any teams you see that are standing out in some of these races?
Right now, I think for the most part, we see Street Saints having a very good showing with some very good front runs from Prodigy, and with Fujisan and Faulty playing very well on the members, getting a good few KOs here, making sure that they don't fall too far behind in point totals. I think everyone's doing a really good job on Street Saints. I think the same goes for a lot of these other teams. It does seem like we're going to... Now, I'm very interested to see how some of these other teams really adapt to how Prodigy is playing, because Prodigy being able to front run so well is making it pretty hard for people to actually get any KOs or even get the points off of them, because remember, getting first place versus getting second place is a massive, massive difference in points. It's absolutely insane. So we're going to have to wait and see if anyone can stop what Prodigy's doing, or if they're unable to. Do you think anyone's going to be able to catch up with Prodigy and slow his pace down, or do you think he's just going to be able to just completely front run away with the game and continue doing what he's doing best?
Having him win with Lavinia on Sector Storage was definitely eye-opening. As a member, even though Lavinia does have very strong perfect boosts, it's not often you see a member winning over every single leader in a race in terms of position at all.
Oh, absolutely not. The fact that we saw Prodigy play so well just goes to show that Prodigy is able to play not only leaders but members very, very well. So I'm very interested to see what ends up happening going forward, especially with how they're playing. Now, my question really does come from the fact that if we're going to see anything else going forward with these players. Now, one of the big things is, I wonder if Prodigy is very strictly a Noboru and Lavinia player, because that's what he's been playing a lot of. He's been playing pretty much nothing but Noboru. Or if he's going to pivot on to another leader depending on track. Maybe he just is purely a Noboru lover and he just wants to keep playing Noboru, which I don't blame him genuinely. Noboru is a very solid character here. Very, very consistent. Very well when it comes to a lot of these front run tracks.
Or
Is
you
there
could just play on basically any track in the game. There are very few tracks that Noboru is not gonna show up on, especially just because of his ability to generate entropy. If unique to Noboru, it allows him to do a lot more mind games of the strikes as well, because he just has access to more of them.
Oh, absolutely. That's one thing I'm very interested in seeing how this transpires, because the fact that he's just playing so well is just unreal. Like, I wonder if there's any other... Again, I still wonder if we're still going to see a Mr. A. I don't think we will, unfortunately, because obviously Mr. A is just primarily a TA character from the looks of it. Primarily just really good when it comes to TAs only. So, again, maybe we do see him, maybe we don't. It really just depends on what ends up happening. I would still be very interested to see what does end up happening with Mr. A. Again, maybe I'm just getting a little too hyped for Mr. A, and I'm very excited to see how these players, especially any of the players with world records or even really good times with Mr. A, see if they can actually pop off and make him really function.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, Joker. Mr. A is the high-risk, high-reward character, and it does really seem like on a lot of these tracks the risk is perhaps too high for a lot of these players, especially given some of the collisions have been less than ideal for our players here.
Just a little bit, unfortunately. But I do think that I do think we're going to be seeing we will see some of these collisions maybe potentially go down. Maybe some of these players will adapt their playstyle based on the fact that these collisions are very detrimental. They're very hard to deal with. I'm very interested to see if they do actually play around that and they're able to really deal with the collisions. It is a shame that these collisions are causing a lot of trouble for a lot of these players, but a lot of these players are playing very well overall. Even with the collisions, they're able to really take off and make sure that they can deal with the collisions very well. I wonder if there's going to be ever an instance where someone's actually going to be able to take advantage of the collision. Maybe they're able to strike off of the collision and get a very surprise KO on someone and just shock them out of the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Overdrive is really good for that, actually, because it doesn't have the startup time that strikes do. So I'm curious to see if people take advantage of that.
Now, when it comes to, you know what, why we're still hanging out here waiting for scores to get tallied, what is your favorite character right now in the game? Is there any character in particular that you just very much enjoy by chance?
Announcer, everybody knows it.
Was there anyone else outside Announcer that you really enjoy by chance? Announcer's a great character, though.
Awesome. My personal favorite leader is Hiroshi.
Ooh, Hiroshi being a personal favorite leader, I don't blame you. Hiroshi's honestly just an amazing leader. Very amazing character, very fun. I am very excited to see how this keeps going forward with some of these other characters. Maybe we will see Hiroshi going forward here. And it looks like we do have the scoreboard taken care of already. Very well done from Knight. Looks like we got 2% actually in first place, just barely with 75 points. Scrummers following shortly behind them. Not too bad, actually, genuinely. We have STS a little bit behind them, about what I would say, what is that? We're looking about 55 points behind, and then behind them, TLR is quite a bit of ways, unfortunately, about 135 points away. And then we're looking at Curlworks, which Curlworks is very far behind even TLR here. So I wonder how Curlworks and TLR are going to actually play around this.
So you have to remember, it is never too late to come back.
No, absolutely not. Yo.
But yeah, we're 4 races in now. Is that correct, Joker?
Yes, we are. We're about to get into Belly of the Beast here shortly. I'm very interested to see how Belly of the Beast actually pans out here. Belly of the Beast is one of those tracks that really could make or break a lot of these teams. I feel like if this is the time for Curlworks or TLR to really look to get some points and really secure their position to get even better positions, this is probably their time right now to actually look on it. I think Curlworks does have the potential to do it. They haven't been getting a lot of KOs so far from the looks of it, but I do think they can absolutely turn this around and make it a lot easier for themselves.
Yeah, KO's points are just so important. It'll be interesting to see a change of strategy now that the teams know what their score is. So I definitely think Curlworks is gonna have to play a lot more risky and try and clean up on some end of the field here. We're about to get into Belly of the Beast now in a couple seconds here, with our teams ready to go again.
Now, I know we did talk about Belly of the Beast a little bit earlier. Let's just get a refresher on Belly of the Beast. Belly of the Beast, again, one of these tracks that has a very interesting shortcut, very hard to take consistently, so it's going to be very interesting to see how these players actually deal with the shortcut. I'm very excited to see how they're actually able to really tolerate the fact that there's going to be a lot of collisions potentially here. So I'm very interested to see. Now, when it comes to the characters, it looks like we're going to have a Gabriel off the bat here. Looks like we got what I believe is Hope on the left, and we got, I believe,
Gregor in the
Hiroshi.
middle, I believe.
We got a lot of characters. We see Hope, we see Fermi, we see Roshin, 3 characters that we expected.
We see a lot of Ritsuko's here.
But we do see a Gabriel of all characters. Gabriel, very interesting to see on this track. I'm very interested to see how Gabriel actually plays on this track. Now, the question is,
at the very beginning of the track, by the way, Joker.
We do see
let's see how they take it.
We do see a Kemi here. Are we going to see everyone go for the shortcut? Everyone
Yes.
does.
Oh,
Yuke
so
unfortunately
miss it.
fails it. Some of these players actually just opted into not taking because they knew it was going to be a big pileup, and as it shows, we do see BFX at the very forefront of the race right now from the shortcut, I believe. Sight actually just got out from the alternate path, trying to catch up here, see if he can get anything done here. I do think Nomura is going to be very good here when it comes to some of these. Looks like someone just strike bait Sight pulling out with the shield here. Drizzy's actually up in second place.
By the way.
I'm not surprised. Fermi, again, really, really good on this track. Very strong on this track. His drift is just perfect for the track. His boost is perfect for the track when it comes to duration. And we see a big pile of vehicles right here with Gore. Oh, good.
Oh, good shield.
Very good shield. Well done from one here. We're going to see someone go for a strike. Doesn't get it. It looks like Gregor does.
Oh, UK misses.
Unfortunately, does miss. Now, Sight right behind Faulty Pursuit, trying to bait Pursuit, goes for the boost instead of the strike here. Trying to get
hit the
consistent
shortcut.
line.
Yes,
Hits
they
the shortcut
do.
well,
They go for a
goes
strike. Oh, but hit Blade, but Blade is shielded. Over the again.
Blade does not
and
have
it
enough
hit
shield.
this time.
Well done from Sight. Good job from Sight.
Oh my goodness, the shortcut is
Big
playing
pile
a
of-
couple lives here.
Again, this is the biggest thing with this shortcut.
Oh!
It is unfortunate collision coming out from the shortcut here. Looks like we're going to see a couple of these races just have a very easy time here, where everyone's going to be fighting in the back, unfortunately. Very unfortunate that Belly of the Beast is such a interesting shortcut, to say the least. Very congested, very claustrophobic for a lot of these racers. It's going to be very hard. Drizzy actually is taking front and center here with first place. Probably not going to last too long because Fermi's vehicle is not that fast compared to a lot of these leader cars, but we don't know for sure. Depends on how well Drizzy knows the track and how well Drizzy plays. If Drizzy hits a really good shortcut here, Drizzy could actually have a very easy time here. Hope with a
Pack is
very...
split up quite a bit. There seems to be 4 or 5 in the front, and the rest of them are sort of in a pack of their own. That's what we expect to see here on this track, especially with the leader-member divide.
Oh, absolutely. And it really comes down to how well everyone plays. And it looks like no one opted to take the shortcut in the front. Everyone opted to actually just keep driving and going forward here. We see Sight actually take over from Drizzy up in front, but I think this is going to be putting Sight in a big potential risk where he could get striked out here and get taken out. BFX and Drizzy actually get in front of him. Looks like this is TLR's actual track. It looks like one of their best tracks. And very interested to see how this continues. Where it looks like Prodigy's got the shield up. Sight tries to go for a KO, misses the KO, unfortunately. Or not Sight, I'm sorry.
You mentioned Prodigy using, you mentioned KG being used. Prodigy actually in this race, one of our favorites, is using KG at this current moment.
KG actually is not a bad character when it comes to this, but it looks like Prodigy just hasn't been having that kind of luck here. BFX dodges the strike from Fermi. Very well done. Very close call here. Sight up here with Drizzy and BFX. BFX getting...
Are they going to go for the shortcut here in front? Sight's going to go for it. BFXD decides to go for it, but Drizzy elects not to.
Very interesting to see that Drizzy elects not to. Maybe Drizzy's trying to look and see if anyone else from other teams is going to take the shortcut and potentially look to strike them out here. We do see quite a few people taking the shortcut. But Bucky gets taken out, unfortunately. Mule gonna get a perfect boost off. If you guys didn't know, Fermi, when it comes to perfect boost, actually his timing slightly off here, but he does have one of the longest perfect boosts in the game and has the longest perfect boost in the game for members. Even, I believe, above Gregor at tier 2, if I'm correct.
Above Gregor and Lavinia, correct, Joker.
One of the biggest things with Fermi is the fact that if we're seeing Drizzy and Mule hit a lot of perfect boosts, they know the perfect boost timing. They're playing very well.
They tried to strike bait Drizzy, but didn't seem to work.
Oh, nice try from Faulty, trying to get the strike bait, but Drizzy didn't fall for it. Drizzy went out of the way just to avoid not having to use Sync or Entropy to not have to worry about too much of this. Looks like we're going to see Yuke on a Kemi. Will Kemi get any Entropy? It looks like maybe he just used all of his Entropy on an Overdrive, potentially. We see Sight here in the front with BFX. It's going to be very interesting to see which of the members.
currently fighting for the top spot on the last lap.
TLR holding 340 points. Maybe we see BFX. TLR actually get a very unfortunate turnaround from Toxic.
Right, going the wrong way on the field.
Very unfortunate for Toxic. That is very, very unfortunate.
Now, it seems like TLR and the Scrummers are confidently leading in the points department, 100 points ahead of third.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to see what ends up happening for these teams. The fact that there's such a huge lead right now, Scrummers may be able to actually catch up. Curlworks only getting 210 so far. We do see Best of the Best shortly behind them, but Curlworks unfortunately does lose out from getting 3rd place here. Street Saints might actually secure 3rd place here. Is it going to come down to Curlworks and Best of the Best fighting?
Oh, this is the overdrive on Gore. The last lap.
They do get the KO. One more KO, and Curlworks can actually secure 3rd place, but they get taken out.
Gore got taken out too.
Unfortunately, Curlworks cannot secure 3rd place. Very well done from these racers here. Very, very good race from everyone here.
Seems like BFXD is going to take the lead here.
Got a lot of interesting character picks here. Super cool. Super interesting to see all these characters being picked here. Very, very impressive stuff here. Very interesting to see how it all went, how all these characters actually played. Seeing a lot of Roshin actually makes a lot of sense here. Roshin and Fermi makes a lot of sense. Actually seeing a lot of Hope was very interesting to me. We saw, I feel like this track isn't that long for a 5-lap track, especially with a shortcut, but it did come down to the fact that not a lot of people did actually take the shortcut, which is very interesting to see. So even with the fact that we have a couple Hopes in here and a couple Roshins, I feel like it was actually very interesting to see. I feel like the Gregors did a little bit better than the Hopes because they were able to get online much quicker due to the shortcut being so narrow. They were able to get so many strikes off that they continuously get their sync and ensure they can get the tier 1 and tier 2 very quickly here.
Exactly. Especially on these kind of bendy tracks like Belly of the Beast. Hope is not going to be charging their SGE very often. Good play is required for them to get that sync boost up, unless they can score early KOs, which that didn't seem to happen here.
Now we're going to be going into the next track. After Belly of the Beast, we will be going into Misty Hills. Now Misty Hills, very, very interesting track. This is, I believe, a forest track. If I'm correct, it's a A-ranked track. This track actually does have a very interesting shortcut, if I'm correct. This is one of the few tracks that actually has an off-road shortcut. Now, for people that do not know, off-road shortcuts, unlike normal shortcuts, actually, because of how off-road functions, you actually will get gear shifted down to gear 4 and 5, usually on average here. So this is something you have to be very careful about, and you have to make sure that you're at least boosting or striking through, otherwise you will get slowed down tremendously. So this could be a track that we see a lot of people opt out of actually taking the shortcut, especially with how narrow it is. It's almost guaranteed that you're going to be having to spend the sync tax in order to actually get through this shortcut. Now, do you think we're going to see a lot of these characters that we just saw last track? Are we going to see some Hopes? Are we going to see some Gregors?
No,
or do you think that we're going to opt into Dirk potentially for
This
just
is a
the
very
shortcut?
technical track. There are so many tiny turns around here that you have to. It feels like an S on both sides almost.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're going to see some Hinas. Look at from the character picks. We do see a couple Hinas. We do see Fermi still from Drizzy. We do see a couple Hopes, actually. We do see some Ritzikos as well. And I believe we do see a Dirk from Gore. Gore's taking on the role of Big
Dirk Energy.
Let's hear some Big Dirk Energies in the chat for Gore. Let's hope he gets some chain KOs here. Hopefully he does really well here. Especially he's got a hard mountain to climb. He's got Ritziko everywhere. There's a lot of Hinas. There's Fermi. There's a lot of characters that are really good on hairpin tracks and tracks with that are very technical based. So I'm very interested to see BFX already
TLR BFXD off to a good breakaway at the start of the track.
Now this is something I'm very interested to see how this transpires here. We have 3 Ritzikos in the front, I believe. Outside of those 3 Ritzikos, I believe actually every leader, this is one of the few tracks that every leader actually opted into picking Ritziko. There's not a Nobaru, there's not a Hiroshi, there's not even a Gabriel. It is all Ritziko, so we're going to see how these leaders actually play. Maybe we're going to see all 5 Ritzikos actually fighting for first place here, fighting each other consistently. Very interested to see how Mule Guy plays here.
Gain is going to be off the charts.
Mule Guy actually opting to go off of Fermi here and does go for the Hina. Hina does go for the strike bait with Hina, but did not get it. Does get the. I don't think he blocked any strikes. The shield just went off and made it look a little funky. Now we do see Bucket here. We got Blade right in front. Is Bucket going to look to see if he can get a strike charged up to see if he can get Blade taken out here? Or maybe even try to strike bait? I don't think he will, especially with how Hope wants to play. Try to get to as many sync gauges as possible. Faulty going forward here, seeing maybe potentially he's going to look for a strike bait onto Sight. Sight does fall for it.
Sight gets strike baited.
Very good strike bait from Faulty. Faulty is going to look to see if he can get a KO. Does Sight potentially have an extra sync charged up? He's looking just in case he does. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it. He's still... Sight did have a second.
Strike bait from Faulty on Sight!
Faulty playing very good here with a very good double strike bait. Now this is looking very good for Faulty. Faulty actually doesn't
but he gets KO'd by Sight!
Even for burning two shields from Sight, still gets KO'd in the process, which is very unfortunate. Was looking very, very good for... Very unfortunate here. Drizzy is catching up right now. This is a Fermi specialty, especially on some of these turns here. Unfortunately, gets turned around.
Oh!
Unfortunate for Toxic. Toxic does get blown up here. Very, very unfortunate for Toxic. Toxic actually very close to an overdrive, but it looks like does get taken out. Very well done from what I believe that was Blade. Very, very well done. Now we do see Dirk here in the back with a lot of these other characters. Now, is Killer Frost opting into the cut? Killer Frost actually slows down tremendously. I wonder what was Killer Frost's intention here. Maybe trying to see if someone would go in front of Killer Frost and see if they could get
they just wanted to take the cut just to try and save some time, which even if you don't boost your strike across the cut, still will save a little bit of time compared to going
absolutely.
the whole
BFX
way.
actually in overdrive, I think, from the looks of it.
Yeah, they are in overdrive.
I guess he's trying to secure his lead even further, trying to make sure that no one else can catch up.
He is very far ahead by the looks of the minimap, if I'm seeing
but does
correctly.
explode, unfortunately. He's actually over 1,000 meters ahead. This is actually one of BFX's best tracks from the looks of it. TLR is absolutely going insane.
Oh, Blade gets a kill on one of the scrummers.
Unfortunate that we see this KO. It could be very detrimental, especially with the pack being so close to one another. Looks like BFX is just going to have a very free front run right here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what ends up happening here. Maybe we can see a lot of KOs, especially on this bend here and going into the shortcut. Very interesting to see what ends up happening.
Going into the shortcut here. They're going to boost. Yup, and they get the perfect boost across the dirt here.
Now,
they go for a strike on one of those scrummers. Oh, but it was a strike bait.
Good. Now, one of the big things that we need to talk about real quick, why BFX is so far ahead, if you guys didn't know. Actually, you know what, Mill? I'll let you take the stand for what happens if someone tries to KO someone that's getting lapped.
In fact, if BFXD tries to KO someone from who's lapped, or actually any KO on someone who's lapped, they do not get KO points for that KO. You can't farm like that. So if you're very far ahead, you are essentially sacrificing all of your KO points for position points. But as we've seen, position points definitely matter because those extra 40 points definitely do something in the final rankings.
Especially for just going from first to second, just that 40-point jump is enough to balance out just not getting 3 KOs. I mean, heck, it could easily lead to an instant win on some of these tracks for a lot of these teams. Now we're heading on to the final lap because of BFX. BFX is catching up.
Oh, UK with the kill on Drizzy.
Very good KO, and we actually do see the Lavinia come out here. Doesn't get the perfect boost. Lavinia's perfect boost. Notoriously not janky, but a little bit goofy with how it wants to perform. Tries to go for Drizzy, does not get the KO on Drizzy.
Kill on Drizzy yet again.
Now
seems like these guys are locked in a 1v1 here, wouldn't you think?
Oh, absolutely, and with the fact that Yuke has 95 points, he's gotten quite a few KOs here. Unfortunately, it didn't seem like Dirk got that many KOs. Back to quickly what I was saying about Lavinia. Lavinia's perfect boost is based on certain things, which is based on her power itself. Unfortunately, we did not get to see the KO from Lavinia here. Very unfortunate. Mugai in third place, trying to stay up with the leaders and actually playing very well with the Ritzukos. We do see
only 80 meters behind the Ritsuko, which for Hina is very impressive.
Seija actually just got blown up, went into overdrive, and I believe Faulty actually took out Seija, which is absolutely insane to see. Even with all these Ritzukos, we do see Hina
BFXD is finished, by the way.
Holy, TLR securing 150 points. Now the question is, can the rest of TLR secure some KO points here, or will it just be down to BFX getting that 150? It's going to be very hard to see what ends up happening here. Hopefully TLR can get a few more points here. Kurtworks actually in second place with 280. They're jumping around left, right, and center. It's going between second and fourth very quickly here. Now, it's very
is 90 points ahead of Scrummers, by the way, who are in second.
The fact that the best of the best is so far ahead is insane.
Ella just got a huge point jump.
Massive point jump from TLR as well. TLR is hanging out. Unfortunately, does get KO'd here. Kurtworks trying to secure as many points as possible here. TLR trying to take this cut. They only have 20 seconds here. Trying to see what they can do here. We're going to have to see what is happening. Now, the question is, does TLR get a couple more KO points? All TLR needs is one more KO point and a better position over Yuke, and they can secure themselves a very, very good set of points here. The question is, does he go for it? Does he go for it?
Oh, he actually strike. Oh, but he's going to strike back.
Oh!
And he strikes. Was it in time?
I believe it was in time. Very last second, getting the KO. Yuke getting them. He does get the KO here. 165 points. Holy, what an insane total. Absolutely insane to see that 165 points on Lavinia, equal to that of BFX. BFX playing very well, trying to get so many points here, especially from positional points, and still just gets taken out by Lavinia. Lavinia just getting so many points here. Very, very well done.
This race shows exactly why KO points are important in scrimming. You cannot neglect the combat. BFXD hard swept this track in terms of running, and yet and yet the person with 5 KOs and Lavinia with 8 scored more points, even though they were in a much lower position. You have to keep that in mind when playing the game.
It's very interesting how well balanced, honest to God, that the combat and the front running is. If you sacrifice all your combat and you only go for front running, you're just giving a lot of pressure on your teammates, but it does give you a secure 150 points. The big thing is trying to make sure that your teammates can get a lot of these KOs while you're actually front running. It's one of the things that's going to be hard to balance here, especially with some of these other teams that might be a little more KO centric. So it's going to be very, very hard to see how it all transpires here. Now, going on to the next track, we are going to Downtown Run. The main track that a lot of people actually started the game off with, especially for story mode, is the first track that everyone got to play on. And this track has had a lot of optimization, especially in the time attack scene and even the overdrive challenge scene. There's been a lot of optimization here. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of... We might see some Gabriel, we might see some Dirk. We're going to see a lot of potential KO-based characters on this track because this track is not that hard, doesn't have a lot of hard turns by any means. And it's a lot of stuff that you can really take advantage of, especially for characters that really want to look for KOs. So I'm very interested to see how this all transpires. Now, is there any character you think we're going to be seeing? Are we going to be seeing Dirk, maybe some KG, maybe a Kemi, maybe even Gabriel?
Any character that can really thrive off of KO chaining is really going to be nice here. But aside from that, we might actually see Mr. A, if I'm being honest.
This could be the one track Mr. A is seen on the most. It's going to be very interesting to see if Mr. A is even picked here. I don't know for certain if Mr. A is actually going to get picked here because of how janky the collision is still. Let's see what the characters are. It looks like we do see... No, Mr. A. We do see 2 Noborus, a Gabrielle, and 2 Ritzkos. Not bad, actually. I'm actually surprised we're not seeing any Hiroshis by any means. Very interesting to see. Now, we do see Frederick. We do see a couple of Kemis. Akanes, I'm sorry. And we do see a couple of Hopes here still. And we do keep seeing the Gregor from Killer Frost. Killer Frost sticking to the Gregor, really enjoying the Gregor here. Very nice to see. Now, the question is, who's going to get their strike first and who's going to start chaining strikes before everyone else does?
Sight is already taking off as the leader, by the way.
With Sight already taking off is actually very impressive. Sight's been, if I'm correct, been practicing this track very well and doing a very good job on this track. We do see Killer Frost a little bit behind them. Now, the question is here, how will this Gabriel play? Now, Gabriel is going to be very interesting to see when it comes to a lot of these turns. I feel like Gabriel can really take advantage of the fact that these turns aren't too difficult to really take in general, so he can really strike on these turns very well and get a lot of surprise fast KOs. What do you think on that?
Yeah, especially getting KOs early in the game is going to be super important for Gabriel, just because not only does he get his sync bars back, he also can get more entry back, and we might even see a very early overdrive from Gabriel if he's able to score enough KOs.
It'll be very interesting to see if Gabriel can actually get those KOs and get that overdrive going. Overdrive on this track is actually not too difficult to actually maintain. Seja actually does get a shield out. I think BFX was trying to strike bait, does get the KO on Seja, not bad. Is Blade going to actually look for the KO? I think BFX just trying to get out of there and making sure Gabriel cannot get his game started. Very well done by BFX.
Yeah, he's created quite a bit of a gap between himself and Sage.
It's just insane to see that Sight and Prodigy are so far ahead right now, taking these kinds, trying to strike bait each other, making sure that they can see
Sight actually used overdrive. They actually just ended overdrive. I'm pretty sure.
I don't believe they did just yet, but I could be wrong on that. Blade trying to catch up, see if he can get anything done, but unfortunately Blade is a little too far behind. Having to break so much and hitting these walls is going to be killing his momentum, especially with Gabriel. Gabriel not getting any KOs is very, very tough for him. It's going to be very hard for him to get anything. Core with a very good shield on the overdrive. Very well done. Core looking to potentially get a KO on Drizzy on this bend here. Are we going to see it? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it.
No, it seems too far away.
What ended up happening over there? We do see Hope up at the front here, going with overdrive, trying to see if we can get any KOs. Weirdo right behind. Gore are we going to look for a strike bait, or are we going to look potentially get a KO? Does get caught out on the overdrive.
Slide swept by Narcissa. Overdrive.
These overdrives are coming out left, right, and center, just like we were talking about. Overdrive not that hard to really maintain on this track. Very well done from these players, actually going for it. I think Weirdo just used a shield trying to dodge UK's strike. Very well done.
He just activated overdrive.
Now, are we going to see a couple KOs from Drizzy, or is Drizzy not going to get anything off here? It looks like all the other leaders are very, very far ahead. I don't think Drizzy's going to get anything here. He's probably maybe just trying to get away, maybe secure some good points here. Now, the question is, can Drizzy maintain this on these bends here? It's going to be a little difficult, a little risky, especially going at about almost 400 kilometers per hour. Drizzy's going a little out of control. Unfortunately, loses control
and explodes.
Nice try from Drizzy. Mule Guy right behind Toxic. Is Mule going to look for anything? Maybe Faulty can actually chain this from Mule getting a KO on Toxic if he even goes for it. Gonna be very
Bill's
interesting
meter
to
is
see.
not very good though.
Not very good at all, unfortunately. Killer Frost does respawn, has 1 bar of sync, goes and gets the boost off, doesn't have enough for a strike, but it looks like he's in tier 2 right now, which is very impressive. Narcissus up here right behind Drizzy, but unfortunately Drizzy's so far ahead. I don't know if Narcissus is going to be able to get caught up here. It's going to be very interesting to see how that happens. Sight already on, I believe, final lap here. We're nearing it if they haven't already. It's going to be very, very interesting to see.
Toxic
right.
is currently in overdrive as Hope. We'll see what happens. Oh, kills Gore on there. Might be looking to kill Mule. Oh, Mule shields the attack.
Mule with a very good shield, honestly. Toxic just driving off, trying to get away from this, because I believe there's an overdrive right behind him from the Hope. Does get taken out
killed by that overdrive.
Bucket with a very good overdrive KO. Chaining into this good. Well, let's see if Bucket can maintain the overdrive. If Bucket can maintain overdrive, this is going to be a very secured amount of positional points for Bucket. Bucket looks like he's hitting his brake a lot here, making sure that he plays as safe as possible here, especially with the lead he's got. Now it's going to be interesting to see what's ended up happening here.
See a lot of people in overdrive right now as we near the end.
Now, one of the biggest things that I'm very interested to see is if the Frederick's going to try to go for any surprise KOs here last second. I don't know if Frederick's going to get any KOs, unfortunately. That's one of the big things that I don't know if they're going to end up happening here. It'll be very interesting to see. Gore might be trying to at least get a couple KOs, maybe on Prodigy here. Prodigy might be KO'd by overdrive,
though. We're going to see Prodigy get away from it.
Prodigy
he gets the
doesn't
KO
have
on Prodigy.
Didn't have any sync for Prodigy. I don't think the KO on Sight counts because Sight's already out of the race.
Count for points, no, but see
but
if he can get a
he's trying
KO over
He's
here,
trying to get
though.
this last KO on Faulty. Gets the KO
Oh,
on Faulty, but
hit.
KOs himself.
But he still makes it over the line.
Absolutely insane. Getting that last KO might have actually just helped secure a couple points, but
Best of the best
unfortunately,
once again, placing at the top of the team rankings.
very well done from Best of the Best, genuinely. So everyone's playing really well out of their mind, trying their hardest to make sure that they can get as many points as possible. They don't want to suffer any potential issues going into these next few races. Very well done. I believe that leads into actually our final track now that Downtown Run's done. Downtown Run, very well played. Didn't see a lot of KOs because this track is very front run heavy. We did see 5 KOs coming out from Killer Frost, though. Very well done from Killer Frost. Genuinely interested to see how everyone else plays going into this final track. Final track, though, oh boy, if I remember correctly, Vapor Trails is a little interesting. Might be wrong on my...
I don't believe it's Vapor Trails, or is it Vapor Trails? It is Vapor Trails, yes. I misread the track list. Yes.
No, you're perfectly fine. I almost messed you up myself. Vapor Trails, genuinely a very, very interesting track. This is one of those tracks that is going to be very, very interesting to see what ends up happening here on the track, genuinely. I do think
we have a brief stop here. Actually, I wanted to talk about this before the last race. So we've seen Best of the Best dominate in a few of these last races. How much do you think they've extended their lead by it? Who do you think is going to be contesting them here in this last race?
Ooh, it's going to be hard to see who's going to be contesting who here. I mean, the fact that we are actually seeing Best of the Best taking off right now, there's potential Best of the Best has a very sizable lead on everyone else, but we did see a couple of good plays from some of these other teams, so who knows, maybe Curlworks actually got enough points that they're starting to make their comeback here, but we'll have to just wait and see what ends up happening here. I'm very interested to see. I think Best of the Best and Street Saints are going to be in a very good position right now. I think they're getting tons of KOs, getting a lot of good position-based points. It's going to be very interesting to see how this keeps progressing forward. I wonder if anyone's going to make a surprise comeback here, especially Curlworks being so far behind. I think Kuro might have the potential to actually make a comeback. They've been playing what looked to be, from my perspective, pretty well going forward and trying to actually really secure what they can.
Yeah, I definitely think my top 2 prediction right now going into this final race, I think will definitely be Best of the Best 2% and Scrummers here. Both teams performed very well, but Lost Regiment, not to be underestimated, definitely has made quite the comeback, especially on Belly of the Beast, where they absolutely slammed. So they are not out of this just yet. As for Curlworks and Curlworks and Street Saints, it remains to be seen how they're going to be able to perform here on this final race.
Now, final race with Vapor Trails. So going into Vapor Trails, I know we don't have it showing up on screen here. The big thing with Vapor Trails is this is actually kind of a technical track. This is actually a very interesting track, to say the least. It's going to be... I think we're going to see a lot of Hina here, just like we've seen before. I think Hina is not bad for this track. I don't think Roshin's that bad. one of the big things, if I remember this track correctly, this track does have a pretty decent shortcut, but I believe it's actually very narrow, and it can make for a lot of claustrophobic instances, a lot of catastrophic moments where a lot of these players could actually get stuck in some of these, or get stuck in the shortcut, which could lead to a lot of free KOs potentially. Now, the big thing is the fact that Vapor Trails is actually a 3-lap track, so we may see some players not opt into Gregor or Hope here, and maybe go into some of these other characters that maybe want to go KOs. But we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here. I'm very interested to see how this all transpires.
Let's talk about the track itself, actually, with Vapor Trails. You can see how windy it is, like Misty Hills, like we saw earlier.
It's very interesting to see how Misty Hills is. I wonder if we're going to see kind of the same character spread on Misty Hills that we might see on Vapor Trails. Misty Hill having a lot of Hinas, a lot of Ritsukos. We didn't see that many Hopes and Gregors, but we did see a couple. I know we only saw, I think we saw 2 Roshins as well. So we may end up seeing we might see a couple Roshins, a couple Hinas. Maybe we'll see everyone on Ritsuko. I actually think Nobaro might not be the worst on this track. Now, I could be very wrong on that. If I am, I'm very sorry. But I think we could see maybe a Nobaro or 2 actually pop off here and play very well and get a few KOs, especially with, but I think all these bends may be going to kneecap his entropy gain. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. I definitely think we're going to be seeing Hina 1000%, a lot of Hinas and a lot of Ritsuko, almost guaranteed. Now, out of all the characters, is there any character you think that will surprisingly show up on this final race by chance, or do you think all the characters that have been picked or will get picked already have been picked?
I think we're not going to see that many surprises here on Vapor Trails, because this is, again, a very technical track. We've seen a lot of technical tracks here in this set, actually, in addition to the other somewhat easier tracks. But like I said earlier, I definitely think the character selection here will be sort of similar to Misty Hill, so lots of Ritsuko. I imagine that the leaders will be mostly Ritsuko.
That makes a lot of sense, genuinely. I think the fact that Ritsuko is just so good on some of these technical tracks, a lot of these bended-based tracks, it's going to be very hard to see anything other than Ritsuko Hina being the primary pick. We definitely will, like I said, we definitely could see some Fermi here still. Fermi is never a bad option on some of these technical tracks. But with Hina on the field as a pickable character, especially with some of these bends, it's going to be very interesting to see. We do see the fact that 2% is maintaining lead. Scrummer's actually in second place, TLR right behind them. But unfortunately, they are a good couple hundred points away. SCS a little bit behind TLR. They're fighting for 3rd and 4th here. And Curlworks actually making a pretty sizable comeback, getting 1,700 points here. Unfortunately, they're still sitting here. It's very interesting to see who's going to actually end up as 1st, 2nd here. I don't know if TLR can actually make the comeback here on this final track. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe TLR will just get a ton of KOs on this track because of how bendy is. Especially with the fact that TLR showed a very good performance on Belly of the Beast. I actually think they could really show a good performance here. And they also showed a very, very good performance, if I remember correctly, on Misty Hills. So this could be a very good track for them. TLR being able to play very well on these technical tracks. So I'm very interested to see if they're able to actually perform on this final track here. So we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here. I have high hopes for all these teams. Everyone's been playing very well. Everyone's been adapting very well. Everyone's been just genuinely very fun to watch. I know some of these players have probably been struggling, especially with some of these tracks, with some of these shortcuts that are very, very tight corridored, making it very hard for them to actually take everything as optimally as possible here. And here we go. We're going on to the final race, guys. Going to be very interesting to see how everyone actually is able to play on Vapor Trails. Now, I'm very interested to see what leaders are going to get picked. I think, again, should just be Ritsuko. And what do we have here?
Mr. A! Mr. A is on the field!
We have a Mr. A. We have Mr. A. We have a Dirk from Gore. We have a Kemi. We have a lot of people here. Goreworks trying to go for KO City here. Gonna start this off very heavily here. Will BFX be able to actually utilize this Mr. A very well? Gonna be very interesting to see how does Mr. A and this Dirk actually play off. I am hoping that Curlworks actually does very well with the Dirk and Akemi as their core member duo. This could be very, very good for them, especially if they're able to get a ton of strikes here, a ton of KOs. This could be very, very good. They could really good end off this series with a very good final performance here.
I really think the Lost Regiment needs to go for as many KOs as they possibly can, because we saw on the scoreboard, they're all over 200 points down from 2nd. And remember everybody in the chat, for people that haven't watching this entire series, you do have to be top 2 out of the 5 teams that are playing this race to advance to day 2. So getting these points is so important for all of these teams.
I think honestly,
Drizzy attempting to get a KO, but shielded by Bucket here.
Very unfortunate that Bucket was able to defend that from Drizzy. The big thing is with TLR, they actually did pick characters that aren't too terrible when it comes to striking. Hina getting strikes off of just drifting, and Roshin having
BFX already activated overdrive in the front.
Very good by BFX. BFX looks like he's going to be taking this Mr. A all the way. Just like on Vapor Trails, taking a massive front run, going out of control. Looks like the shortcut's getting congested with a lot of KOs, a lot of shenanigans going on. It's going to be very hard for a lot of these members. This is making BFX really just get this front run off that he wants. It's going to make it to where he's able to secure 150 points very easily. Prodigy slowing down, potentially looking to get a KO on someone, trying to get some strike back. Looking to strike back Bucket. Bucket doesn't have sync. He just proved it with the defense here. Gets the KO on Bucket. Good job from Prodigy. Prodigy very well done, trying to get the shield, trying to get a sync back from a KO. Gets the kill on Killer Frost as well. Very well done with the KO on Killer Frost. Goes for Yuke with a very good shield last second. Very well done. And tries to counter back. Prodigy defends it. Yuke trying to sit here, trying to get stuck here. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of shenanigans going on. BFX just still getting this very clean front run, making it very easy for him to just kind of play the game the way he wants to. Almost near impossible for anyone to actually catch up. It's absolutely insane here. Now the question is, how is this going to end up with the back of the pack here? We're probably going to see a lot of these players in the back just trying to keep farming KOs off each other as all these other
huge in the back. No one is super far apart except for BF. And BF activates yet another overdrive.
Mr. A actually really taking advantage of this. It looks like, now that I think about it, BFX might be trying to actually end this race as fast as possible to see if they can secure a ton of KO and position points. Maybe trying to see if they can get a ton of points off here, get higher up on the leaderboard, especially with the fact that Curlworks has only got 135 points right now. It could be a very good strategy trying to secure a ton of points for themselves and
Plus,
really lock
Regiment
out
is actually in first right now for this race, and Scrummers is only at 210, as you see.
Scrummers going down to 205, lost a position here. It's going to be very interesting to see. Killer Frost trying to go for a KO potentially. Did get the upgrade, tried to strike bait, did not get it. He's going to look for KO on the shortcut, gets KO on you.
And gets the KO on you.
Almost gets another KO, almost gets a double KO on Core. Very well done. And we have BFX with another overdrive. This man is just trying to end this race as fast as possible. Very well done for BFX, genuinely.
We're going into the final lap for the rest of the pack here as well.
Ooh, Killer Frost gets taken out. Narcissus right here trying to defend himself from the overdrive.
Narcissus with a good shield defending against Toxic Sprite. He's going to go for the revenge and hits it. Wait, what happened there? Oh, both have KO'd each other. Did you see that? Narcissus with yet another shield.
Absolutely well done from Narcissus. Even if it wasn't intentional, the fact that he was able to strike trade and force the overdrive to get exploded in the wall does give him more time to potentially get some KOs here. What is happening with TLR? TLR doesn't want to be in the front anymore. We're looking at what I believe is...
I believe that's...
Street Saints. We see Street Saints actually taking advantage here with 330 points here. BFX's strategy doesn't seem to be paying off right now, but Curlworks is not getting any points. Very hard for Curlworks to really secure any points here. They're trying their hardest to see if they can get anything here. The question is, can TLR secure a few more KOs here, maybe secure a few better positions to really get themselves a lot of points here and deny a lot of points from these other teams? They have 35 seconds here. They don't have a lot of time left in this race. Some of these teams really got to start picking up the pace here, seeing if they get some KOs here.
Second place at the finish on Best of the Best here as well. Followed closely by yet another TLR member.
Unfortunately, some of these players are just unable to get KOs. Everyone's playing their shield strikes very well. Faulty barely misses the strike here. Very unfortunate. TLR, Weirdo trying to secure a better position here. Does Weirdo get the position, or does Faulty get this? Faulty does have the strike, but doesn't even go for it. Unfortunately, looks like we're going to see Faulty with the maintaining position, and very well done. Very good front run from BFX. BFX with an insane front run. Literally half a lap up on everyone else.
TLR did end up winning, and Scrummers ended up in fourth, but Joker, I don't think it was enough to get them up to the top.
We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here. It could have been enough. It could barely have not have been enough. We'll just have to wait and see. We do have to go into and double check everything here. I'm very interested to see who actually ended off in the final race here. Very, very well done from everyone. BFX, again, just like on Misty Hills, an amazing front run. Very well done from TLR here. Played absolutely out of their mind on this last track. It seems like these technical tracks are their bread and butter. They've been practicing these tracks from the looks of it very well. Very, very good job from TLR on these tracks. Now,
let's get some love for everybody who's played in this block thus far.
I think everyone, genuinely, everyone in this block played absolutely amazing. Everyone was playing out of their mind. They all were trying their hardest to secure the points. They played very well. Absolutely amazing players to watch. I'm very excited to see how Block B transpires after this showing. I cannot wait to see what ends up happening here. Very, very well done from every player and every team. I wish all the teams the best of luck that do move forward, and all the teams that did play. You guys played amazing. You guys were awesome to watch, genuinely.
Yeah, and once again, we want to hear love from all of you in the chat while Nightspeed tallies up our final scores for Block A. Don't go anywhere, because Block B is coming up very soon.
Dude. Now, the question is, Milla, when it came to these races, which of the races actually shocked you the most? Why we're still waiting here, waiting for scores to get tallied? Genuinely.
Honestly, Vapor Trails, I did not expect, I don't think anyone in the audience, nor us over here in the booth, really expected Mr. A to be chosen here. I don't think you expected that either, did you?
I honestly, this was one of the tracks I could have seen Mr. A, but I was not expecting, especially with some of these other tracks that Mr. A could have been picked on. I just kind of gave up hope that Mr. A was actually going to get picked here. The fact that Mr. A did get picked really shocked me. I was very impressed to see the Mr. A come out. I'm very happy to see Mr. A come out. You don't see Mr. A that often outside of TA, like I said before. The fact that we do see in Mr. A, just absolutely amazing to see, genuinely. And I'm very happy that we did get to see Mr. A finally. Absolutely amazing and absolutely well done from BFX on the Mr. A. Genuinely well done.
And not only did we see Mr. A, we saw Dirk. How do you feel about that?
Dude, seeing Dirk, oh my god. Seeing Dirk was probably one of the best things ever. And not only that, we saw, I think, Dirk twice on 2 different tracks. Even though Dirk was struggling to get a couple KOs from the looks of it, it was absolutely insane that he was able to get picked, and they played very well in the Dirk. It's just, I'm very happy that we got to see some Dirk here. I really hope that we see some Dirk in Block B, actually. I'm very excited to see if Dirk does get picked in Block B. The question is if Dirk will get picked in Block B, obviously. Now, we could see that Dirk just gets forgone for other characters. Maybe we might see more KG in Block B. Maybe we'll see some more Kemi, potentially. I don't know if we will see a Kemi. Maybe this is just going to be a Block A specific thing where we see a Kemi here. But we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. I'm very, very excited to see that. Is there any character that you were shocked the most that was picked? Outside of maybe Mr. A and Vapor Trails, was there any other character that shocked you a lot for being picked here?
Announcer on Sector Storage was definitely interesting to me because you don't usually think of Announcer as being super good on a super turny track like Sector Storage.
Oh, absolutely not. I absolutely was not expecting to see Announcer on a track such as Sector Storage. Seeing Announcer on Ashes to Ashes absolutely made sense to me. I mean, even if the fact that she isn't like the best character by any means, she definitely has her tracks where she can really perform and she can really pop off. The fact that we did see her at all was also really amazing. I think one of the other characters I was actually very excited or very shocked to not see, I believe, we didn't see a single Hiroshi this whole time. Very interesting to see that we didn't see Hiroshi at all. Very unfortunate as well. I feel like Hiroshi could have been picked, but unfortunately, Hiroshi just didn't make the cut, it looks like, compared to a lot of these other characters that actually did.
Yeah, right now we are just waiting for the scoreboard update from Knight, and that will be available. Oh, and here it is, as we speak.
Now, do you want to do the honors of shouting out all the teams and their point totals, Milla, since I've been doing it the last couple times?
Yep, and so here we see, moving on from Block A, we have 2% in first place with 2,460 points. An incredible 115-point lead over the Scrummers. The Lost Regiment really did try their best to make a comeback on that final race with their strategy, utilizing Mr. A, but they fell just short by around 140 points, but still a very respectable total to put up on the board. And to the Lost Regiments, Street Saints and Kuro Works with 2,205, 2,135, and 1,845 points respectively. Every team out here played their absolute best. We saw some crazy plays. We saw some crazy plays. We saw some good strike baits. We saw unexpected moments with the shortcuts, and all the fun Scream multiplayer interaction we've been waiting to see at the highest level of the game.
I'm very interested in how Block B actually, again, I'm very interested to see how this Block B actually transpires overall. I'm very interested to see, are we going to see some Hiroshis? Are we going to see maybe some other characters, maybe more Fredericks, maybe less Hinas. Who knows what's going to end up happening? I'm very excited to see how Block B plays out. Again, just like you said, you couldn't have said, I can't say it any better than you, but every team played very well. It was a very, very close series, honestly. The fact that we had 4 teams within a very close margin of each other. Unfortunately, it looks like Curlworks just wasn't able to get any of those KOs they really needed. Very unfortunate for Curlworks, but they still put in the work and played very well. Do not let their point total actually diminish their results and diminish how well they played, genuinely, especially with a lot of these other teams that we have some very good players on all these teams playing very, very well. Very interested to see how 2% and Scrummers play in the next day. Very interested to see how that I can't even speak today. I'm sorry. I'm so excited right now for Block B. I just can't speak. I just want to get back to casting on Block B. Genuinely, I just can't wait to see how it all transpires. Genuinely, I'm just absolutely amazed how well everyone's been playing. Amazed how everything's really just translated out for this game, and the meta just itself is just so cool to see.
Prodigy Got Skills in the chat wants to ask us a question here at the caster booth, and he asks, who were the highlight players of Block A? And Joker,
Ooh.
I think definitely you have some stories to tell with regards to that.
Now, I think highlight players, I genuinely think BFX with some of these front runs, especially Prodigy with some of these front runs, absolutely really good highlights from these players. Like, the fact they were able to get so many good front runs is just absolutely insane. I mean, the fact that you have Prodigy who was able to front run with Lavinia on, I believe, was Sector Storage, absolutely amazing. Was it Sector Storage? It might have been Echo Dome. I think it was Echo Dome. But still,
No, Sector Storage was the one that was played this time.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at the next tracks that we're going to be getting into. I'm very sorry about that. Still, the fact that we're seeing Prodigy just being able to pop off so well with Lavinia and just really front run and show his skills on all these on not only members but leaders is just absolutely insane to see. And not only that, we do have some other things that we have a couple other characters, like, if I remember correctly, outside of Prodigy, I'm trying to remember who was getting a lot of KOs. I believe it was Killer Frost. Killer Frost absolutely putting in a lot of work with KOs, especially on Gregor, really showcasing how powerful Gregor can really be. Like, genuinely, it's absolutely insane to see. I don't know. I was not expecting that.
I actually want to shout out in the Misty Hills race, especially Yuke from Curlworks. Curlworks did not go down without a fight, especially because VFXD ran Misty Hills like no tomorrow, ran off into the sunset and finished the race really early. But not to be underestimated, Yuke, even though they came 10th place in the race, managed to score 8 KOs for their teams.
Absolutely amazing well job. But not only that, I believe Sight also was very well when it came to a lot of these tracks. Able to get a couple KOs, able to get some good positions consistently. Very consistent player, genuinely. It just absolutely amazing. I just can't believe how well all these players played. Everyone was playing absolutely out of their mind. It's so amazing, genuinely.
Yeah, and now that Block A is over, the night's only just begun, Joker, as we have another group with another set of 8 races coming very soon.
We have Block B still left to go through, but this is, I'm going to still let you guys commentate, but I just want everybody to know we got to spend a little bit of time taking a break, making sure that our next players are ready. I need to calculate the specific player stats. We have an amazing spreadsheet behind the scenes that Joker whipped up. We are going to use I mean, we got some real detailed character stats to put together, but in the meantime, I'm going to go take a bit of a break. You two, you guys can take a well-deserved break as well. We will be back, or at least my hope is that we will be back by 8 p.m. Eastern. Stream is still going to be up. You two are free to stay if you want, and maybe talk about what just happened in Block A as well.
Yeah, we've been doing that a little bit here as the match is concluded here. So we've seen 8 races from Block A. Everybody in the chat has witnessed just how well these teams have been playing. So I want everybody in the chat right now to tell me what team were you guys rooting for throughout the tournament. I want to hear you all scream for your favorite team. Let's hear it.
Unfortunately, I would be saying if there was any team that was very hopeful for. But honestly, I was just very excited to see every team play. Like, genuinely, every team, again, played absolutely out of their mind, playing very well. It was just so enjoyable to watch. I just can't believe how well each of these teams were playing, how they all adapted. Like, it just very well, very, very well done from each and every player, 100%.
I definitely agree with you, Joker. I think everybody did their absolute best, and even for teams that may have not advanced to the finals tomorrow, every single player had their moment.
Fully agree with you on that. I think one of the more interesting things is just how often we actually saw Hope and Gregor. I personally wasn't actually expecting to see so many Gregors and so many Hopes, and just how common these two characters were going to be. I thought maybe we'd see like one player rep Hope or Gregor consistently, but we saw consistently, I believe, two to three Hopes and Gregors almost every race, which was absolutely insane to see. Like, that really shocked me.
Yeah, I don't think either of us here in the booth expected a Hope to be picked consistently, but Gregor too. Gregor was not a character that was on our radar, especially in the highest level of the game.
Oh, absolutely not. I was not expecting that by any means. Genuinely, though, the fact that Gregor is so, like, we're seeing Gregor really showcase how powerful he can really be is absolutely amazing. I'm actually very hyped for that, showcasing how good Gregor can really perform. Now, one of the other things when it comes to, with Gregor, I think it's, like, one of the things I'm actually very happy about is how consistent he is when it comes to KOs as well. Gregor's actually able to get so many KOs so consistently, and he's actually able to get to tier 2 a lot faster than I actually thought he was able to. I actually didn't realize he could get to level 2 so quickly. I actually thought it was going to take a lot longer for him to actually get to level 2. Now, this does come from the fact that I haven't been playing nearly as much as I should be when it comes to all these characters. I should really be trying to learn each and every character a little bit more in depth so I can really provide better commentary. But I do believe the fact that Gregor is able to get his tier 2 so quickly, and these players are very adjusted to getting to his tier 2 as fast as humanly possible, is absolutely well done from all of them. Very, very well done. Very awesome to see.
Exactly, Joker. We want to hear from chat while the break period is going on, when we set up for Block B of Welcome to Neo Rey. Is if you have any questions about Screamer Competitive, anything that we plan to do in the future that we can share as of right now, then please do ask, because we want to hear what the community has to say about the state of competitive, and anything that you want to see from the competitive scene. I don't have that much else to say about Block A. We hope you all stick around for Block B, coming up in about 20 minutes. Rambini asks, are there going to be different tournament formats outside of team races? So the format for Welcome to Neo Rey is a trios format with a dual system integrated into it, which is how we wanted to structure the kickoff to sort of generate hype around the competitive scene for the game. But we do plan on running some other more conventional tournaments in the other formats that the game has to offer. Trios is not the only way that you can play Screamer. There is a duos option as well, and we are looking into setting up things for that. And for people that prefer to play on their own, a little bit more accessible, we also have some solo events for leaders only and members only sometime in the future. So stay tuned for that, as we will be keeping you posted on when those are going to be hosted.
This is a little interesting.
FFA, we will not be doing like the free-for-all with leader and member mixed, because it's too much of a class division within the same format. So we do not plan on running here FFA. Helios Haiti, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, asks, are there any more tourneys currently planning to have a rough date? I wasn't able to join this one because my carpal tunnel flared up really bad, but I'd love to participate in future events. Dates, we do not have the exact dates planned for any future tournaments at the moment, but segueing into the next question, that'll also answer yours. Antarctica's Finest asked, are these going to be weekly, monthly, or just whenever? So, Welcome to Neo Rey is the kickoff tournament for Screamer. We wanted to use this tournament as a means to generate hype for the game, which is why you have me and Joker here on casting. So we will be talking over the matches and all of that. But some other tournaments that will be, we actually want to do bi-weekly tournaments for rotating formats. With a different format every time a tournament comes up. And that'll give more people a chance to play the most they like, and also just get a chance to hop in on the competitive environment. Not every event will be casted, but we will make an attempt to stream as many events as we can on the Scream the Competitive Twitch channel here, so more people can get involved with the community and hopefully sign up for more tournaments of their own. Like it's cutting out a little bit. I'll have to figure that out at some point later. But thank you, Rambini, and thank you, Lunar Phoenix, for the comment on the commentary. Me and Joker here have been trying our absolute best preparing for this tournament.
Honestly, genuinely trying to commentate this has been just a little difficult, obviously, because of all the crazy stuff that's happening shenanigans-wise, especially with some of these shortcuts. It makes it very difficult to properly commentate everything, but we are trying our hardest. It is a lot of fun, genuinely. Even with all the shenanigans, it does lead to some really funny moments, so it's always great, genuinely.
I know Nightspeed can hear me right now. Nightspeed is the third member of the tournament crew that is running Welcome to Neo Rey. I actually wanted to ask him if he can put the link to the Screamer Competitive and Screamer Online Discord servers in the description for the channel.
Great.
So
great call.
People watching this,
let me
people watching this stream can join the community.
In fact, that's I should just make a command after the stream's over in advance of tomorrow. But here's let's go ahead. We're gonna check exactly which link I copied. I think I got Screamer Online first. So this first one I'm going to copy is Screamer Online. And this is the one run by Rambini and Darth Zed. That's like a more general hangout, along with a more pronounced focus on speedruns, in particular, on speedrun.com and otherwise. So all your speedrun needs, head over there. But if you want competitive, if you want to head for the tournaments, this is where we're at. You can join either one of those, ideally both. We got a whole network of servers, 3 servers right now. You got the official Milestone server, you got our server, which is a competitive one, and of course you've got Screamer Online, which is, you know, it's a very nice hub. It's a very great place to be. The community's just been very welcoming, very nice, great people to hang out with, and everybody's just here for a great time. I don't know, like I've been having a blast with everybody here so far.
Exactly, and we wouldn't be here without the community who wants to make this game the best that it can possibly be. We have you guys to thank for so much for letting this be possible. Lunar says, I don't know if I wish to actually participate in the tournaments in the future. Can I still hang out in the competitive league server? Yes, so the competitive server is for anyone who wants to improve their game, and you can learn from the best right at that server. So please do feel free to join if you are looking to improve your gameplay or just to hang out. Anybody is welcome. Love the overlap between Crossworlds and Screamer. As a fun fact, actually, all 3 of us were and in some cases still are very good Crossworlds players. So when we came to found the competitive league for Screamer, we knew exactly what we had to do to get this game on ground.
I can't believe you're leaking this. Unbelievable. I thought I had a contract here. Can't believe that, man.
I mean, I would not call myself a good Crossworlds player, personally. Like, all I contributed to Crossworlds was bringing in Dark Chow, and then I left just as quickly as I showed up.
But yeah, Knights, for those links that you posted in the chat, it would probably be good to have those in the channel description, so people that scroll down and that are watching the stream can easily find those links and join these servers.
Yeah, of course, I will get to that. All the housekeeping is gonna have to happen after we go through these.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now it's just I'm giving the game a little bit of a break. So like behind the scenes, because I'm like managing the stream, trying to like one hand's on my controller trying to flip through all the cameras, the other hand's on like my keyboard trying to get all the you know, like scores inputted on time, and like definitely not being able to do both. Like, you know, there were once upon a time I could, but like my old man hands, they can't hold up with that anymore. But quick question from Scoobers04. Don't know if somebody asked already, but are there any plans on uploading these tournaments to something like YouTube? Yes, we are recording everything. We are also getting down the VOD. The VOD will be available. And before the VOD goes offline, we are going to move everything to YouTube. I'm hoping to segment it like race by race, block by block. Something akin to fighting games. If you've watched like a fighting game tournament, you know how after the fact you have like your top 6s, your top 48s, your like grand finals, right? So something a bit akin to that. So we're gonna have the block A and the block B go in probably sometime this week. I've recorded some stuff of my POV. Oh, okay, perfect. Yes, we want. So I wanted to say this earlier, but I was too busy. One of the most unfortunate aspects of being on the spectating side of it is that you don't get to see everybody like throw out their call outs in the beginning, right? Because you can call out, that's where big Dirk energy comes from, right? So it's like, but we can't hear that. We can't hear all those call outs being put out, right? So if you
Big Dirk energy.
Big Dirk energy, right? But we're not gonna hear that from our side of things. It's a very unfortunate thing. I think Milestone should definitely patch that in. But yeah, just I'm gonna keep plugging away at the scores and getting ready for the next block. So
the tracks actually are going to be announced very soon for Block B, so do keep your eyes peeled for that, and we'll bring it up as the stream gets closer to resuming. I will be right back, Joker, so if you have anything to say, take it away.
Oh man, take it away. There's so much I could talk about, it's not even funny. This game is just absolutely amazing. I think, genuinely, it's so much fun to just watch everyone play the game. I have, like, don't get me wrong, I love playing this game, but man, watching it just feels just as good to watch it, genuinely. So many players are just out of their mind good at the game, and so many players have just been really performing very well. Super, super cool to see. I just can't believe it. Like, seeing genuinely everyone is repping so many different characters is just one of the coolest things ever. We're seeing people rep Fermi, we're seeing people rep Roshin, Hina. Everyone's just getting a lot of representation. I think it's one of the coolest things just in general. It's like absolutely amazing. I think it's going to be super, super cool to see how everything else goes from here. This game is just tight. Yeah, absolutely. No, this game's just amazing. Like, there's so many good things about this. It's just so good. Like, I think the hardest thing about this game when it comes to, like, even just trying to watch it, obviously, again, I talked about it earlier, but the fact that there is so many things when it comes to, like, not the desync, but the collision jankiness and whatnot, like, it's all right that it happens. It's not like the end of the world, obviously, when it does happen, but it does make it a little hard to keep track of everything. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's not, like, the biggest pain in the rear, you know what I mean? Actually, still very viewable, which I really enjoy for that reason. Could be, obviously, it absolutely could be a lot worse, but hey, I think it's worse with some other games for sure. Oh, absolutely it is. I think there definitely can be some fixes to it. I definitely think that we could see a lot of fixes to it from the devs, and I'm very excited to see if the devs fix it, because I know they definitely will, and they will do a very good job of fixing it in due time. We'll just have to wait and see how long it takes for them. I mean, that's probably part of the reason why the fact that they don't have a ranked mode out at this current moment is the fact that there's just too much jankiness with the netcode and all that, which again, that's very fair. The fact that they're doing that is absolutely very well done by the developers. The fact that they are choosing and opting into making sure that they ensure that the game's released at a very good state, especially for ranked, is absolutely amazing. I think that when it comes to balance, I think there isn't like any specific character that's like so obscenely broken or so obscenely weak that you can't play them. Like, you can still see people play them. Like, the fact we saw in Kent, like, the fact is, we didn't see Hiroshi at all, which is actually insane to think about. Like, there was no Hiroshis in this lineup, But the fact that there's no Hiroshis means that there might be some in Block B, right? Like, we could actually see the fact that we could see some Block B Hiroshis. We could probably see more of these other characters. I mean, the fact that I believe the only character I believe that didn't get repped unironically, which is very funny, is actually Hiroshi. Out of that whole series, I don't think Hiroshi got picked up once. Let me double check here. No, he didn't get picked up. Out of all the characters, Hiroshi was the only character that was not picked up during that series, which is very, very funny to see. I honestly, I'm very shocked. It really does shock me that Hiroshi wasn't picked out of all characters. I absolutely was expecting to see him, but maybe there's something that these players actually know that I don't, which I wouldn't be shocked about, because these players are playing absolutely out of their mind. They're playing very, very well. Excuse me, I'm sorry, guys.
I want to chime in a little bit. I'm actually very surprised by the amount of Gregors we've been seeing. It's, I know that's a character that a lot of people had some apprehensions about, you know, like he's a slow starter. If you don't get your KOs early to fill up your, to like get those sync bars, you don't really like succeed, right? But we saw a ton of Gregor, and we saw Gregor like perform really, really well. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, the fact that Gregor is performing so well, like, a part of me is shocked, a part of me isn't shocked. Like, the fact that we're seeing Gregor perform so well is absolutely amazing to see. Genuinely, it's just like, I cannot believe that, genuinely. It makes a lot of sense that Gregor's actually able to perform pretty well, genuinely, and I'm actually very happy that he's able to perform pretty well, and that we're actually able to see some Gregor, like, just to love in general, and seeing Gregor actually just pop off. I think one of the characters that still shocked me the most was finally seeing Mr. A on the final track. That, to me, was actually very interesting, and I actually think the fact that, because they were, VFX and from TLR was actually trying really hard to, I assume, wanted to end the race as soon as possible, try to snuff out a lot of points from a lot of these other teams, and did a very, very good job of actually meeting that goal of trying to stop the race as fast as possible to ensure that they can get as many points as possible. But unfortunately, it just didn't pan out. Everyone else was actually able to get a lot of KO points before the race ended. They were able to still they were still able to end the race pretty reasonably in a good amount of time. Genuinely, it's unironically very, very impressive.
But it's actually kind of interesting you mentioned that, because I actually didn't even think about that as a viable strategy. Like, you have someone end the race early so that everybody else is on a timer. They can't farm KOs anymore. Like, I think TLR was really smart with that. Having Mr. A just shoot off in the distance and say, hey, you know, that's it. Game's over. No one's going to get KOs. Maybe with some refinement, we could see that strategy really take off in the future.
Absolutely agree with that. I think we could really see that strategy take off very well. Again, we'll have to really see how it actually translates out to some of these other more further metas that can really form. I think it definitely has a place and definitely has a lot of potential. I definitely think it's very interesting to see how it's all really transpired so far. I think the fact that they actually went for the strategy and they almost pulled it off is actually genuinely very, very impressive, and I'm very awesome to see. I do hope to see that they actually do try to go for it again, because I do think that they can make it work.
I think so too. I think it adds an extra layer of strategy, right? It's like, basically, the characters up front, like your runners, right, are going to be the ones dictating the pace of the race. Like, at any point, they can just say, hey, party's over, get to it, right? And now everybody else is like scrambling for like those last minute KOs. But I also really like how people are strategizing, right? Like, we're seeing a lot of strategy around, okay, you know, like maybe we're losing on points. I saw that in the last race, you know, I wasn't commentating it, but on Vapor Trails, a lot of TLR and Street Saints, even though they were behind, right? They realized they were behind, and they realized to make up that point deficit, they have to go like hunting for those KOs. So someone like Prodigy, for instance, who's a really good driver, right? Really good runner. He was slowing down and really, you know, trying to fish for a KO or two to like massage those points, get them a little bit further, right? Hopefully bring them over the edge into that second place spot. It didn't work, unfortunately, at that point in time, but I don't know, we're very early into this game's lifespan. We have a lot of room left to take a look at the rest of the meta. So.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much time left for the meta to actually really pan out, and I'm very excited to see how the meta genuinely pans out. Less music, can't hear you properly. All right, get onto it. Night. The music's too loud.
The music is too loud? I thought I brought the music down, actually. My bad.
Clearly not.
Apparently not. No. So the annoying thing is, like, I have all my settings for like my personal streams, but I don't have my settings. Like, I made a whole bunch of new scenes for this, so I didn't carry over my. I didn't carry over my scenes.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this back to you guys. I need to go get ready. I can't get all the stats in today.
I almost actually have the stats for Block A done right now. I actually just found out something when it comes to some of the point stuff, so I'm trying. Our little score sheet. Everything's on its own Block A score sheet.
I'll talk to you later about that. I got you later. We gotta catch you up a little bit. All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get it ready. You guys, Mila, are you back?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Okay, I will leave it to you.
All right, so Block B is about to get started here in a couple minutes. I've announced the tracks over in the Discord server. Knight will be making a graphic for that, which he'll show on screen very soon.
Super hyped to see that, genuinely.
Our players are getting ready here, so once the tracks come up on screen, we'll be able to talk about them, and we'll be able to give our thoughts about this track set compared to the one for Block A.
Now, genuinely, when it comes to the tracks that we're going to be getting here soon, I'm very excited to see how all the players actually play on these tracks. I'm very interested to see if there actually is any tracks that are duplicates from this series. I'm not going to spoil anything. I want to keep everything kind of under the radar. Don't want to say if there is or isn't anything happening, obviously. I think that's going to ruin all the fun, you know what I mean?
Production value, Joker.
We're going to have a little bit of fun here.
You give me 1 second, though.
Yeah, go for it. Go right ahead, man. And now it was just Joker once again.
My fault. My fault.
No, you're good. You're good. Go do what you need to. Perfectly fine. The cradle is. Well, the tracks have been spoiled, unfortunately. So, we do got a lot of very interesting tracks here. Now, obviously, we do have Echo Dome here. We have Waterside, Misery, Trail the Giants, Burning Plains, a personal favorite of mine, Financial District, another personal favorite of mine, Hawk Trail, Hangar 18, and Anaconda's Nest. A lot of, I can't speak, holy voice crack. A lot of very cool and fun tracks, in my opinion. I'm actually very excited to see how players play on Anaconda's Nest. I'm very interested to see if they even go for the shortcut on Anaconda's Nest. That's one of those tracks that has a decently difficult shortcut to actually hit. Same with the Hangar 18. Hangar 18's got a kind of hard shortcut to actually hit. So I'm very interested to see how players actually hit these shortcuts. Actually, I think all these tracks have a decently hard shortcut except for Burning Plains, I believe. Burning Plains doesn't have that hard of a shortcut to actually hit. So I'm very excited to see how a lot of these other tracks, how a lot of these players actually play on these tracks. I'm very, very interested to see how this all transpires here. Eden's Blue is underrated. Yo, you might be right on that one. But yeah, oh my god, man. This is Belly the Beast shortcut is the worst. It definitely feels the worst, especially online when you're literally just trying to do anything. Over here trying to get yourself some solid points, trying to get yourself anything done, and unfortunately just getting a little bit cooked up unfortunately on some of these shortcuts. It's very, very hard to not just get completely obliterated on some of these cuts, which is very unfortunate. But unfortunately, what can you do? You know what I mean?
Let's talk about the track selection here, Joker.
Absolutely.
We see Sector Echo Dome, which is notorious for being one of the harder tracks in the game, seen as early as Race 2.
Oh, Echo Dome. This is a track that's gonna be interesting to see. I don't believe Echo Dome, if I remember correctly, isn't like it's not like the craziest difficult track, but it also is still very bendy. It's definitely a technical track, very interesting to say the least. It definitely has its place with some of these characters, but I wonder how people are actually going to play Echo Dome. I really am excited to see how they play it. I don't know. I feel like Echo Dome is going to be a lot of pain. It definitely is going to be very sketchy, is probably the best way to put it. One of the tracks I still am more interested about, maybe not Burning Plains, because Burning Plains is a pretty easy track. It only has two 90 degrees right back to back after each other, kind of. Not like the most dangerous track of all, but Trail of the Giants, also another track that's actually just very long. It's not too difficult, so it's not going to be that bad. So we may see a lot of people just trying to forego a lot of these KOs and go for front runs on some of these tracks. Whereas, like, you have Waterside and Misery, if I remember correctly, very short track, very hard hit shortcut, but it actually is surprisingly technical with how some of these curves are, and it can be very annoying to actually get through without getting into get yourself into a pickle or two. I think it definitely has the potential to be probably one of the bigger KO tracks, especially with a lot of straightaways on Waterside and Misery. So I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a lot of KO-based characters. I think I would be more shocked if we just saw a lot of people just trying to front run Waterside and Misery. I wonder how Hawk Trail.
Hawk Trail, I noticed that on this list. Ooh, Hawk Trail is a fan favorite, so to speak.
Hawk Trail is going to be interesting. I feel like we're just going to see a lot of Nobaru, Ritsuko, and Hina on that track. Maybe a Roshin or two here. It's going to be very interesting to see if we see other characters like Gregor or see Hope on here. I'm very interested to see how Hawk Trail plays out. Financial District is, again, not too hard. I actually think Financial District, the fact that we have both Anaconda core-based tracks is actually the most interesting part about this, is we're going to see both tracks that I think we'll see tons of KOs on. There's a lot of straightaways on Financial District. There's a lot of 90 degrees on Financial District, so there's a lot of potential to get some strikes off here. And then the shortcut on Financial District, definitely a very annoying one to hit, so we actually could see people just not even attempt the shortcut at all unless they're front running super hard. Even then, they might not even go for it at all. Hangar 18, again, one of the tracks that actually, very easy track, very kind of short, all things considered. I'm actually more interested to see how many people actually play Hangar 18 out. Genuinely, I wonder if anyone's going to go for the shortcut very consistently. I do think that it's going to be very goofy. It's going to be very goofy if we see one person mess it up, then everyone's going to mess it up, I feel like.
Yeah. So, I don't know how people go for the Financial District shortcut, as a matter of fact.
One of the best ways I found personally, now this isn't the best way, since I've played so many, since I've played a lot of, Financial District trying to hunt the world record at one point. I played a lot of Roshin, and I try to line up for the shortcut with Roshin and try to strike through it at right before I hit the wall. It's still not consistent. I'm still learning how to actually hit that shortcut very consistently. So I'm very interesting to see when are the races resuming. We should be having the races resume here very shortly, I'm pretty sure. I think we're just making sure everyone's set up. Nice just doing a couple final things in the background. So sorry that it's taking a little bit longer.
Don't worry, you can't rush perfection, as we've said many times before. Maybe in a future tourney, you guys should display tags with the commentators in the pre-race screens.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
We're working out all those. Okay.
I think I know what Mule is referring to. By the way, I'm just trying to get everybody in the lobby right now. That's all that's happening.
Thank you, Nightspeed. Your work does not go unthanked. Yeah, everybody show some love to Knight in the chat while we're waiting for the race to start here. He's been putting in a lot of work to make this possible, so make sure you go thank him. Who do you think are going to be the most used characters here in Block B, Joker?
Ooh, for these tracks, since we're seeing Hangar 18, we're seeing Hawk Trail, we're seeing Burning Plains. I think I remember it was Trail of the Giants. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting because a lot of these tracks I feel like are gonna be a lot easier so we're gonna see maybe more KO focused characters, and I feel like a lot of these tracks are gonna be KO focused. So I actually think we might see some Dirks, we might see some Gabriel, we might see some KG, some Akemi. I think we'll obviously see Hina, especially on Hawk Trail. There's almost it's almost guaranteed we're gonna see Hina. I think Roshin as well. I think Roshin, we'll see some Roshins as well. I'm very excited to see some Roshin. When it comes to characters I'm not expecting, I think we could see an announcer on a couple of these tracks. I think announcer has some potential on some of these tracks. I think Fermi's going to get picked on a couple of these tracks too. I think Fermi's pretty alright on a lot of these tracks. Not the best character, but not the worst by any means. I would be shocked if we didn't see Hiroshi for a second series. Not seeing Hiroshi for the first season.
Needs to be picked here.
If Hiroshi's not picked, holy, that'd be insane.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hiroshi completely dominates some of these tracks on the leader side, I believe. I think he's excellent on the Burning Plains. Would you agree with that assessment?
I can agree with that. I think one of the bigger tracks that I'm actually interested to see how Hiroshi plays on is definitely Financial District, because I think Hiroshi can play very well on this track with his boost. But again, I don't know. These are a lot of Hiroshi tracks. That's one thing I am seeing from chat. I think it would be very shocking to not see Hiroshi. I definitely think Hiroshi has to be getting picked here. There's almost no chance he doesn't. And if he doesn't, holy, I think Hiroshi's gone, man.
We got a whole set ahead of us, so we gotta see who's setting the trends.
Now the question is, are we gonna see another Mr. A though?
It's a new set of people. Who knows what they might bring to the table?
I feel like when it comes to any of the characters that I don't expect to see, I genuinely think we're not going to see that. We're not going to see Mr. A, I feel like, unless we are going to have some teams actually try the TLR strategy. I think the strategy TLR employed on the final race of, I believe that was Vapor Trails, if I remember correctly, that was the track name. The fact that Vapor Trails had them employ such a potentially potent strategy is very impressive. I think we could potentially see that happen again, especially if we see a team that actually gets a very strong front run or gets a very strong lead. We could actually see it. We could see them really take off with such a strategy. Be very interested to see how it all pans out. Like I said before, I think out of all the members, what member do you think is going to be the least used? What do you think? What do you think for this?
Least used. That's going to be a tough question because member diversity is quite potent in these races. There's not really any members that are like so much worse than the other ones. But I was gonna say I don't think KG and Akemi are going to be used that much, but then they got used quite a bit. Well, actually KG only got used once, but Akemi had some showings. I do think KG and Akemi will probably be less used on this set of tracks because we see, like we said earlier, there are a lot of more technical tracks where it's harder to pop overdrives and stay consistent. Echo Dome, Hawk Trail, and Waterside Misery are the ones that I'm thinking about here. Announcer, like Phoenix said, Announcer is a character that just won't be used very often as their ability is very situational and they're a very middle-of-the-road character otherwise. But other than that, I expect to see most of the other members used at least once, besides those two that I mentioned.
Yeah, I can see that. I think again, when it comes to the most used members, I think it's almost going to be guaranteed Hina. I think Akane is actually not bad on a lot of these tracks. I think a lot of these tracks Akane is perfectly fine on. So we probably will see a lot of Akane, we'll see a lot of Hina. I think we'll still see a couple Fermis, we'll definitely see a few Roshins. I wonder if any of these tracks are actually really good for Frederick by chance, because I know Frederick's not like the most utilized pick, and it's very hard to min-max on that character, especially with the fact that he could send himself into a wall and explode. So it's definitely really hard to min-max with him, and it's very hard to make sure that he doesn't just take himself out more than he takes other people out, right? So that's something that a Frederick player would have to be very, very careful of. But I would like to see if there is a Frederick player that can actually take care of a lot of these tracks and really show off the character. I'm very interested to see, but he's super, super inconsistent, obviously. That's the only bad part, right? So I think we're probably not going to see any Fredericks, and if we do, it's going to be on a track that's kind of longer, has some longer straights where he can safely strike without having to worry too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Frederick and Mr. A have the exact same problem. That's why we didn't see him very much. We see that like their main things rely on them being vulnerable more often, especially for Mr. A. Mr. A, when played optimally, is usually always vulnerable to touching the wall, which with the multiplayer, not exactly the safest option. In fact, we even saw Aisha get picked for Mr. A in the last set. Yeah, okay.
The fact that Aisha got picked, I'm not too shocked that Aisha got picked. I actually think now speaking about Aisha, I feel like some of these tracks aren't terrible for Aisha, genuinely. I mean, she might be able to min-max on using her perfect boost. The only problem is with Aisha, obviously, instead of having like an actual potential, like a power that every other character does have, Aisha's specific thing is actually just having a backup shield, which can be really good in certain situations, obviously with like Roshin, right? where Roshin can get her strikes off very easily. Maybe there could be some pressure that Roshin's able to provide later down when the meta really transpires into something a little more KO focused potentially. If it does, we could see that Aisha becomes picked a little bit more, so that way they have a little bit of a buffer so that they can start getting more sync and even try to look for some entropy. But genuinely, I don't know if we're going to see that many Aishas. Again, Aisha's perfect boost is very, very long and it's very powerful. But even then, for that power, she just doesn't have something that other characters do. Obviously, Hiroshi getting an extra bit of boost. Gabrielle, if I remember correctly, gets more entropy for KOs. Nobaru gets entropy from generating sync, right? You have Mr. A that has he's a whole completely different character, but still, the fact that he has potential on a lot of these tracks is just hard front run. I mean, there is a lot of potential with it. And then it's just very, very interesting to see. And then obviously Ritsuko's just got so much hype generation potential where she can just generate so much sync and so much entropy just by getting all that sync. Like, a lot of these characters are very powerful, and I feel like it really bogs down Mr. A and Aisha from wanting to get picked that often, genuinely.
Mr. A, as someone mentioned in the chat, Kuzidas, I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong. The thing holding Aisha back isn't even her weak power, it's the fact that it takes 3 to 5 business days to get a sync bar, which I agree with. Aisha has the slowest sync generation rate in the entire game, which I'm not sure why that is, but that is definitely a huge drawback as sync is everything. Words. Aisha's perfect boost being so strong doesn't really matter when you can't get them off.
I wonder if the Gabrielle pick's going to be coming out here. I think one of the other things about Gabrielle that I completely forgot about, and I just saw someone talk about in chat, is actually just how bad his handling is as a character, like for his vehicle. His vehicle handles very bad. So that's one of the big things, is if you're able to handle his vehicle very well, you might be able to get a lot of value off him, but I feel like a lot of these tracks make it very hard to actually utilize his vehicle very well. And that's one of the bigger problems with him. But I will say, he does have a very cool vehicle. Has anyone picked Big Dirk Energy? We got I believe Gore used Dirk twice. Gore did an amazing job.
None of us have the invites. It doesn't show you as being online for some reason. Me.
No.
I'm having a look around, all around, and I have not seen any invitations. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Give me a moment. I do have to wonder why they decided to do this shit for Epic when Steam's just way better.
Not entirely sure.
I posted my friend code in the unnamed channel. Yeah, I've just accepted the friend request.
Alright, I'm in.
Yep, I'm in.
Is it Steam ID or is it just?
You're just go to like the friends button at the top and then add friend, and it'll show you your code.
Oh, okay. Thank you. think I see it. Yeah, I'm coming in.
Thanks.
In center.
I agree, and we welcome back Ninth Speed here.
Knight, do you have any track that you specifically are interested in watching right now? Any track that really stands out to you for Block B, or are you interested for all of them in general?
I kind of want to see how Hawk Trail goes. I know Hawk Trail is a very twisty, turny track. It's a tollgate track, right? That's your very drift-heavy mountain pass track. What that means is a lot of cars are going to be going slow, a lot of cars are going to be clumped up together, and a lot of cars are going to explode. So, very excited about this one. Let's go ahead and let's hope it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. All right.
Oh yeah, Knight. Before the set starts, why don't we take some notes on what teams correspond to which colors, so the audience and us can follow along.
Yes,
just a little
exactly.
Bit better.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. I think we should have all the colors lined up preemptively, so we know exactly who is who. So now putting myself into spectator right off the bat. We're gonna wait for everybody to sort into their teams.
I want everyone to give us. I want everybody to give us who in this lobby will you be rooting for the most. I want to hear it. Taco Sprite says, can you maybe pin a message with the color and team combination in the chat? Yeah, no, actually, it probably would be worth it to give me and Joker moderator here on the Twitch channel.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah, me, Joker, and I can take care of the Twitch sided stuff as well.
Yeah,
if you,
we're missing one. Not sure.
I believe Slimecade disconnected.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait on Slimecade to rejoin. I think. Let me re-invite Slimecade. Oh, never mind. Slimecade's back in. Okay, perfect. All right, so let me get our teams together and tell you exactly who is who. So let me type this out real quick for myself. Yellow is unnamed. Red is Grand Theft Echo. Blue is Sun Chasers. Green is Redacted. And purple is Time Zoned Out. I cannot open up Twitch for that, Twitch proper, in order to pin this. Give me a second.
Yeah, that's why you let me and Joker do it.
Yeah, I gotta make our like normal accounts mods.
Wow, who could see this one coming?
Ah, amazing.
All right.
So let's take a look. Everybody is in. Waterside Misery, Gauge's Finest is on. We are going to go ahead and start Block B with Waterside Misery, and certainly can be miserable.
No.
Yes.
Don't forget.
What's up?
One moment. Before you start that, there is a bit of an important message, of course, that I'm sending you.
Oh, what? Wait a second.
Talk about these teams real quick, why they're going about this. Actually, one of the things that a lot of these teams have that weren't with, like, say, Street Saints or TLR, every team in Block B actually, to my knowledge, doesn't have any subs. So everyone's going to be playing all 8 races, no substitutes. Going to be very interesting to see. And right off the bat, we do see 2 Dirks, I believe. Look at all the Dirk in this lobby.
Everyone say
Absolutely
big
insane.
Dirk energy in the chat.
Give us
for
some
the
big
2
Dirk
Dirks.
energies. Now,
All right, we are
Seeing right at
off
the
to
back.
the races.
we do see
Race
Gregor. We
one.
see Hiroshi actually here. A
Waterside
little bit of
misery.
collision bug, unfortunately. We do see Gabrielle. We do see a couple of Hiroshis. We see Ritsuko. I think there might be an Obaru in here. The fact that we got so many different unique characters, very interesting to see. Thank goodness we do
here's the
see
shortcut.
with Hiroshi.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
Bond's
Gabrielle
pushed
gets.
off the cut.
Unfortunately, Bond's just suffering from the cut. We do see some KG. We see the Lavinia. There's a lot of really interesting characters, especially on Waterside Misery. Very well done. Bond's with the perfect boost. He's 1 entropy away from getting this strike off, looking to try and catch up here. Maybe he's going to look on Roktor. Maybe potentially going to look in here. Holy is right behind. We have, I believe that was Saf on Roshin taking 7th place here. Holy's going to be slowly working his way up. We do see a KO, I believe, right from the Roshin. Very well done. Dirk. We have Mari right behind, I believe, the Bam Bang, which is the other Dirk. It's going to be insanely excited to see. Dirk goes for the KO, doesn't
Mary
get
misses
it.
both targets from that strike.
We're gonna start.
Oh,
Drift does
with
get
the
a KO,
KO
and
roster.
with a good tailspin, able to just continue running with this race. Very well done by Drift. Now, will Drift be able to catch up to Warhawk? Does burn a shield on this. Tries to boost forward, but Warhawk with a really good boost to get away. Not gonna even have to suffer anything from Drift, but Drift is catching up slowly. Roktor is slowly catching up to Bonds.
Is that Roktor using Lavinia, by the way? Another top Lavinia, potentially?
Oh, Roktor gets
and
taken out, unfortunately,
Roktor
blindsided.
taken out.
Yakuza here right in 6th place with the KG. Very excited to see. I wonder if Yakuza will actually be able to catch up here. Ooh, looks like Saf was unfortunately not
Saf
the
gets
cut.
messed up on the
And it
cut.
looks like Yakuza does get the KO. Actually, I believe multiple KOs just happened here. Very insane to see. Expired Coupon coming on the left side here, coming up to the shortcut. Does go for a strike, but doesn't get Bam Bang here. Bang Bang with a very good shield. Coupon does get a very good, clean shortcut entrance. Not too bad here, genuinely, especially on Waterside Misery. Not too bad. Going back to
Warhawk still miles ahead of the competition, not focused on the backpack at all, just focused on running away from whatever carnage is happening back there. Let's see him take the shortcut. Oh, super clean shortcut from Night Warhawk.
One of the smart
300
things about
meters
these
ahead of
players.
Bonds.
One of the big things with these players is just being able to get these front runs off where they don't have to worry about any KOs, just securing 150 points. Unfortunately, we do see a tailspin.
In the cut, followed by a KO.
Unfortunate, Hallman almost had a very good shortcut block and almost got away with it scot-free, but unfortunately had to get punished for it. Slime K does accidentally mess up, and we see Crimdagon getting a very clean entrance in the cut. All 3 members of, I believe, all 3 members of Time Zone Out actually grouped up together here. Maybe they're going to be looking for some KOs here. Just right now.
Overdrive from Ikusa hits Roktor's shield.
Now, can Ikusa actually translate this out to more KOs here, or is he going to hit the wall, unfortunately? Doesn't get anything else here. Very decent overdrive from Ikusa here. Now, we do see right now Sunchase is in the lead with 345 points, followed shortly behind Redacted. Redacted very close here. And then Grand Theft Echo is pretty far away
Warhawk has
points-wise.
finished the race.
Already finished the race, and there's a 3-car pileup in here. I thought this was
Oh, go for the
Screamer,
KO.
not anymore.
Oh, it misses.
Very well done from these teams.
Oh! What a hit.
A lot of shenanigans going on in this shortcut. This shortcut's very brutal, genuinely. One wrong move and the shortcut can absolutely take you out. It's very hard to deal with it. I do not blame these players.
Is going to be in the lead here with Slime K and about to cross the finish line, coming in 12th place. And here we have Echo Max. Fortunately, last of the finish line. Still put up a good showing. And we have Night Warhawk with a very successful front run. Start off, Block B.
Very well done from Sunchases, genuinely being able to get a very good front run here. Not only that, if you look at the point distribution, Grand Theft Echo, Unnamed, and Time Zone Out all actually suffered tremendously on these points. It looks like our teams of Redacted and Sunchase were actually able to get a lot of KOs and make it very hard to get taken out right back as well. Very well done from all these teams. Very well done, especially to Redacted and Sunchasers, playing very, very well. Kudos to all of them, genuinely. Now going into...
Seems like we're missing a player here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, congrats to Sunchase on winning that first race. Looks So, what highlights were there for you from that race, Joker?
A lot of people were getting caught in that shortcut, genuinely. Very, very rough for a lot of these players, making it very difficult for them to get through without too much trouble. That shortcut is one that takes a lot of names, genuinely. It's very, very hard to not get hit on that shortcut and not get caught up there. Very well done from them. I don't think there's any too particularly highlight-worthy moment, in my opinion. I think everyone played pretty solidly. It's definitely a good race to watch. A very commanding lead early on from Suncheeses and Redacted, though. It's going to be very interesting to see how, especially Time Zone Out, plays from here going forward. Time Zoned Out actually, unfortunately, got really cooked on this track. Suffered very heavily here. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. I think they have a lot of potential to really come back here and not have to suffer too much. We'll just have to wait and see, though.
Oh, we're going into Echo Dome here next. This is probably the hardest track on this lineup here, besides potentially Hawk Trail. Who do you think we're going to be seeing playing on Echo Dome here?
Oh, almost a guarantee we're going to be seeing Hina. We're going to be seeing some Fermies. We might even see some Roshins. We'll see a lot of Ritzkos and Nobaru, I assume. I think for leaders, it's definitely going to be Ritzko, Nobaru. I think for members, we're going to see a lot of Hina. I think we're going to see at least a couple Fermies, potentially, maybe like one or two. I don't think we're going to see that many KO-based characters. I don't think Katie's going to get picked here. Uh-oh. Looks like we have a little bit of an issue here with a disconnect here from Expired Coupon, unfortunately.
We'll have to handle that somehow, either before this race starts or during it. I'm not sure what the protocol here is. Knight, can you give us an official ruling on that?
Yeah, unfortunately, if someone disconnects after the race is called, we just have to play out the race. And one of the most unfortunate things is that a single bot in the entire race can just ruin the point distribution, right? Well,
oh my goodness!
Well, Bonds
already camera shenanigans happening. But Bonds is playing Gabriel, not Ritzko or Noboru.
Bonds is getting a very easy way of getting out of here. But yeah, what I was gonna say is that bots are very easy to KO. So what could just happen, unfortunately, is people recognize that and start farming the hope. Now, thankfully, it is just one bot, right? But we do want to avoid disconnects as much as possible.
Yeah, complete disaster for, I believe that's Sun Chasers, actually.
Going into other character picks, like the fact that we do see a Gabriel is actually absolutely amazing, but we still are seeing a lot of Hinas, we're seeing a lot of Ritzkos, we even see a few Roshins. We do see a KG, I believe that was for one frame before he got exploded, so he looks like he got KO'd here, unfortunately. Solomon going to defend, gets a really good shield off, and gets momentum boost on Bonds.
Rockstar, by the way, with Hina, gapping Bonds by 250 meters. Good shield from Bonds.
The fact, this is where Hina really shines as a character. Genuinely, these tracks that are very technical based, very difficult to really drive on without having a lot of issues. Hina's very well equipped for this track, and even Ritzko's very well equipped for this track. I feel like it's going to be very hard to catch up to Rockstar right now. Rockstar has got a very sizable lead, and I feel like unless the Ritzkos play very well, where it's going to be very hard to see anything out. Ikuza is still sitting on the KG. Very interesting pick, genuinely. And we do see a Gregor in here as well. Seeing a lot of interesting picks. We do have a Nobaru here as well. And we do have a Dirk as well. There is another Dirk player. We are seeing Dirk from Mari. Mari is playing Dirk. We have Gabriel. We have KG. We have a lot of KO-based characters. Very interesting to see. I wonder how this is going to translate out. So far right now, it looks like Grand Theft Echo is
Real KO on Night Warhog.
Very good KO on Night Warhog. Unfortunate for Night Warhog. But we do see currently Grand Theft Echo is holding a massive lead with 350 points. So they are making sure that they can come back and not suffer what happened last race. They are not happy about what happened. They really wanted to get that first or second place. So they are going to be trying very hard here.
It really just goes to show you can never call these races too early because anyone can show up for the rest of the set.
Oh, absolutely. Even just trying to pin one team out and saying that they have lost a series or even lost a race is way too soon to call it. Anything can happen in especially one lap. Rockstar passing the finish line on lap 3 compared to a lot of these other team members. We have what I believe in the back there at the very end. I think the Sun Chasers. We got one of Sun Chasers just barely about 75% of the way through the track. How far are we going to see Rockstar get before Sun Chasers' final member actually passes the finish line?
Harry goes to KO, misses on a member of Grand Theft Echo. No, that's Or no, it's
Time zone out.
time zone. Time zone out. Yep.
Yep. A very close call, though. Genuinely, it is very interesting to see how close these KOs are. We do see Mari in the back here with 95 points in 13th place. Already, what I believe has gotten 4 KOs, maybe 5, which is very impressive to see. We're going to see a KO on Marley.
Oh,
from
Echo Max getting a KO on Maxi, which is huge.
Now we're going to see a second one from Tommy. Gets a double.
Oh, a KO as well.
That's 2. Can Equal Max get a third, or will he actually explode here? About to find out very shortly. As long as he doesn't
Oh, that's
KO
on his
his
teammate. I don't think he wants to KO his teammate, Joker.
I don't think he wants to. He's going for Bam Bang. Bam Bang pulls the shield out
Bang, hit
immediately.
the shield.
Bam Bang
Oh, he
pushes him
forced
into
him
the wall.
What a play from Bam Bang.
Absolutely an amazing play from Bam Bang. Very well done for Bam Bang. Bonds
Oh,
goes for the
good
KO and
kill
gets
from
it just
Bonds
barely.
around the corner.
Dude, this is where Gabriel's strength lies. Very strong boost. Bonds is actually slowing down here. Maybe he's looking to try to get another KO.
Good
Dodge-
shields from the overdrive on Akusa.
Very well done for Bonds. Now I see why Bonds was slowing down. Very, very well done for Bonds. Saf over here going to take the shortcut. Very well done on the shortcut entrance and gets a good perfect boost here. Very, very good and well done here. Rocktor
Top
just,
3 teams are really close in points too, by the way.
the only problem is right
with
now,
a commanding lead though at 375.
especially
33 seconds of the race to go.
Honestly,
Warhawk
after the
finishing
first
in
race.
8th place.
sorry for cutting you off, my bad. After that first race with the time, after the first race, Grand Theft Echo really clapping back with a lot of points here after getting 235, going to 390 on this race, going to show that their technical map skill is something that should not be understated. Very, very well done from Grand Theft Echo, genuinely very well performed by them, and Rocktor especially. Rocktor really performed well here. Absolutely amazing by Rocktor.
It's not often you have a member outrunning every leader on a track.
Oh, absolutely not. But the fact, this goes to show, though, that these guys know what they're doing. They absolutely know how to play their characters very well. Unfortunately, we do see that it looks like the Dirk was just unable to get too much power out here, which is very, very sad here. Or not the Dirk. The Dirk was able to get a lot of power out here. It's a little unfortunate. I believe it was, I can't remember which character it was. Hold on, I'm trying to remember which one didn't get a lot of KOs. I think it was the Gregor. It unfortunately didn't get too many KOs, which is very, very unfortunate to see.
All right, so after two races, we saw Grand Theft Echo not have the strongest start ever, but with Echo Dome, they came back. They came back in very fierce style, showing that they will not be out of this competition.
Genuinely, it's just very, very impressive by Grand Theft Echo. I mean, the fact that they were able to go from having a pretty, not the best race for race 1, quite a few points down, to absolutely demolishing it race 2. Very, very well done from Grand Theft Echo. And unfortunately, it was pretty quick on the draw when it comes to getting through the scoreboard, so we couldn't really see how everyone else panned out, which is a little unfortunate here. I believe that was due to some issues on Night's End. It's okay, though. Not a big deal. We will get those scores out, but genuinely very well done from these players. Absolutely phenomenal play. I am very... Still, the fact that, if I believe it was Bonbons, or was it was a, not Bonds, I think it was
Bang is their
Bam Bang,
username, I
yes.
believe.
Bam Bang able to actually force someone into the wall during their overdrive. Absolutely an amazing play. Very, very smart play by them. Genuinely, probably the highlight moment of that race. Genuinely being able to not only force someone to blow up in the wall, lose their whole overdrive, just absolutely fantastic, and it secured them a much better position as well. Very well done, genuinely. Now we'll be going into, I believe this is going to be Trail the Giants next. Trail the Giants, very Not that hard of a course, if I'm correct. Trail of the Giants only has one shortcut, whereas I believe its counterpart, which is... Oh no, Rainy Retreat's the one I think has one shortcut. It should be... If I'm correct, Trail of the Giants has two shortcuts. I'm thinking of Rainy Retreat. That's what it is. I'm sorry, guys. Rainy Retreat has one main shortcut, but it actually is a shortcut that's also present on Trail of the Giants. But Trail of the Giants does have a second shortcut that you can take, but they are both off-road shortcuts. So just remember, guys, in the off-road shortcuts, if you are not boosting through them or you're not striking through them, it makes it very, very hard to actually get through these very quickly. They slow you down tremendously, and it's very, very annoying to deal with, which is a little unfortunate. But the fact that we're going to probably see some Roshins, we're probably going to see some... Can't even think of all the characters right now. I'm just excited.
It's a lot.
Genuinely, Lavinia, I can actually see Lavinia get played because Lavinia's boost lasts so long that Lavinia actually might be nice here. And Trail of the Giants isn't that hard of a track, and I think Lavinia could actually pop off. Gregor, the fact that this track is 3 laps though, it's still pretty long. I think Gregor might still have some potential here. See, Gregor, I think Akane is not terrible, not the worst character by any means. We'll have to wait and see what characters we show up here. And it looks like we are going to be still seeing the Dirk and the KG from Redacted. Very interesting picks here. Very
starting
powerful.
in the front. Let's see how this front run starting to take off. Who is this? This is going to be Tommy from Time Zone.
Now, one of the big things is we do see the Hiroshi come back out here from Night Warhog. Night Warhog really loves this Hiroshi and has been playing it pretty well. Now, we do also have a lot of Akanes here. We do see some Gregors, we do see some Hinas, and we do see Fermi from Equal Max, which is actually very impressive to see. So I'm very excited to see how
keeping up with Tommy very early on, not letting him break away. Very important in leader battles.
Oh, absolutely. If even one leader breaks away, it's almost impossible to catch up to them unless they make a very big mistake here. So we're going to see, does anyone go for this first shortcut, or is it going to be too slow to go for? We're about to find out.
There are definitely a few people that go for it. Some are better than others.
Big thing is, I feel like a lot of these players that try to take the shortcut because of the off-road lost so much speed because their drift just couldn't get through that quickly. Very unfortunate because getting through that shortcut very fast and efficiently is one of the easiest ways to actually get a good lead on this track. And it looks like Akusa might be trying to set up a strike situation, trying to get as much boost as he can. He's got a second boost right up here. He might be looking to either use this for a shield, or he could even use this right now to see if he can strike into Coupon or even bait it. We do see a KO come out in the back here. Now, Hallman doesn't have any strike or boost, or doesn't have any strike or boost available. Just got his boost. Is actually looking for a strike now. Uses it for a shield. Very interesting to see what's about to happen here. Rockter with a very good shield.
Successfully shields the attack.
It looks like he might be going for a KO of his own.
Unfortunately, misses.
Very unfortunate, doesn't get it, but I think he was going for a second one.
See Night Warhawk here. Ons has a slight bit of a breakaway right now, at about 120 meters ahead of him. So it's going to be interesting to see the leader battle here.
Oh, absolutely. The question is, can Night Warhawk actually catch up here? Is he strike baiting? He does get the strike bait. Very well done from Night Warhawk.
Work.
If Bonds goes to the shortcut, Bonds is going to be in trouble here because I feel like Night Warhawk can actually go crazy here. But it looks like Bonds is going to get away scot-free from the looks of it. And the question is, what is going to end up happening here? I feel like we're about to see maybe a catch-up here with Bonds here. Ooh, Bam Bang does go for a strike. Doesn't get it, unfortunately. He's about to have Tier 2 Gregor. It's a little unfortunate he doesn't have Tier 2 Gregor already, so it probably means he wasn't able to get a couple strikes off, which is very unfortunate here, genuinely. Now, question is, what's going to end up happening here for some of these teams? Because we do see right now that... Excuse me. I am very sorry. The fact that we got Time Zone out so far behind Sunchase is very unfortunate. The fact that Sunchase is actually just has such a massive lead over double their points is going to make it very, very hard for Time Zone out to actually catch up here. So Time Zone out's got to pull on all the stops here at this point. It'll be very interesting to see what ends up happening. Bonds with the amazing front run, like you said earlier, but he's trying to slowly, incrementally increase this lead, making it near impossible for anyone to catch up here. It's going to be very interesting what ends up happening here. Doesn't get the perfect boost, which is a little unfortunate. This could give Night Warhawk a chance to actually start slowly catching up here. But we are on final lap finally for all the
overdrive.
Now, will Night Warhawk be able to catch up here, or will he blow up? We're going to have to wait and see.
Also, Sun Chasers with a commanding lead after their situation last race.
An absolutely amazing lead from this team. Now, the question is, what's going to end up happening to these other players? Now, we see Expired Coupon goes for the KO, barely misses it.
Right. Saf with overdrive also. What's going to happen with that? Is he gonna? Oh, he's gonna try and KO expired coupon, and he gets the kill.
That's one. Doesn't get another one, unfortunately. Very, very sad to see, but he could get another boost right here off. Gets the perfect boost. Will he catch up in time to get a strike off? Gotta wait and see. He's probably looking to get one more strike. As we see, Bonds and Night Warhawk actually so far ahead, it's not even funny. These two are just fighting for first and second here. Are we going to see Bonds take this? And it looks like Bonds might take it from the minimap. He does take the shortcut. Does Night Warhawk go for the shortcut? He does take the shortcut, but a little sloppily, unfortunately. He probably didn't have the perfect alignment. Very unfortunate for Night Warhawk.
Bonds has finished the race in first place.
Very well done for both Night Warhawk and Bonds. Very, very well done. Now, it looks like we're going to see Grand Theft Echo secure maybe 5th through 7th place here. There's potential. The question is, do they get it? Even if they do secure this, it doesn't seem like they got that many KOs, unfortunately. Rockter trying to catch up here, trying to get any position he can, making sure that Akusa doesn't get it, but it looks like, unfortunately, Akusa already got his position secured. Bam Bang trying to finally finish off the race, trying to secure any position he can with Gregor, and it looks like he secures his position very consistently, or very well. We see the final races finally end the race. Little bit unfortunate for these racers when it comes to some of these, especially for Time Zone Out. Time Zone Out didn't play too bad this race. Definitely a little bit of a struggle for them, unfortunately. But again, Sun Chasers really with a commanding lead. We did have Unnamed and Redacted both tie this race with 260 points. Very, very cool to see. Very interesting to see, genuinely.
Right on, Joker. There was a lot of action here, and I do believe Sun Chasers comes out of this match on top.
Just very, very interesting to see how so far we're seeing quite a bit of a demanding lead or a commanding lead from Sun Chasers. Sun Chasers already 2 races in a row securing top placements right now, playing super, super well, super out of their mind. And I believe they also secured first place for I believe in the Echo Dome race. This was secured by, I believe, Grand Theft Echo. So Grand Theft Echo had a really, really good first place on the Echo Dome. So we'll have to see how they play out when it comes to Hawk Trail later in the race. We are going to be getting into, I believe it's going to be Burning Plains next, and that'll be our halfway point through this block. Burning Plains, notoriously a pretty easy track, I would argue. Not too difficult, not too difficult by any means. The shortcut's not too difficult by any means. The hardest part about the shortcut, and one of the big things with the shortcut genuinely, is the shortcut itself has a very hard, it's got a kind of a hard line to set up, especially if you accidentally bump the wall on the left going into the shortcut. Trying to get to the shortcut and just barely bumping the wall could really lead you to actually missing the shortcut or hitting the right side of it entirely, or even the left side of it. It's going to be very interesting to see how they take this shortcut at top speed, or if anyone's even going to go for it. But Burning Plains is a very, very good overdrive track, 5-lap track. You can get your overdrives off very consistently here, so I'm very interested to see how this all pans out for these players. Burning Plains is genuinely a very fun track. I really love this track personally. I think it's very enjoyable since you get your overdrives off and use them very well. So we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening here. I think this is a Akane dominated TT as well, and I believe KG is also pretty alright as a character on this track. So I believe we're going to see Akusa still rock the KG. I believe we're going to be seeing almost every team use at least an Akane, and if we don't see Akane or KG from these teams, maybe we're going to see Dirk. Maybe we're going to see Gabrielle. I don't know for sure we're going to see those two, but I definitely think that we will see some of these characters that are amazing when it comes to just straightaway tracks and needing to use their steer rather than drifting. Because, like I said, Akane steer, and I said this in block 1, Akane steer is beyond amazing here. Now the question is, I wonder if we're still going to see the Roshin pick, because Roshin I feel like is not that terrible on this track by any means. I feel like Roshin's perfectly fine here. Burning Plains, let's see what the character picks are. The question is, what did we get here? We do see the Akane. I believe we also have a Hina right here in front of us. So it's going to be very interesting.
The shortcut is going to go, Joker. My apologies for interrupting, but the shortcut on this is not very, it's a little bit unorthodox.
It's a little unorthodox. I don't think it's going to be that hard to take. I think genuinely when it comes to the shortcut, I feel like everyone's going to be taking, and as you can see, there's a lot of Akanes. I think every team literally has one Akane on them. And it looks like we also have a Ritsuko here. We have a couple Hinas. We do see the Gregor still. Gregor is perfectly fine on this track. We do see Hiroshi. Night Warhawk really loves the Hiroshi pick, even on this track. Very excited to see Night Warhawk.
See what happens here in the shortcut. Everyone seems to be taking it fine, yeah.
Everyone took it pretty well, genuinely. Very well done from everyone. Taking that shortcut very well is something that, especially for everyone that's going to pile up.
Sun Chasers is dominating, by the way. They're in 1, 3, and 4 right now.
Holy, Sun Chasers really want to secure their position as first place in this series. They do not want to give any breathing room for anyone else. Rockter actually repping the Akemi here, if I just realized. That is absolutely insane to see that the Akemi pick. Very, very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how this continues to go from here. Now, we do see a couple Ritzikos. The Ritzikos, like I stated earlier, not a bad pick, genuinely. The fact that one thing I don't like about Ritsuko on this track when it comes to my personal preference, I feel like this track is not a track you're going to see a lot of people jumping between positions. I feel like unless you're in the bottom spots fighting for KOs, you're really going to be having just one or two leaders front running super hard and you're barely going to be changing positions. So I don't know how well this Ritsuko hype meter is going to really transpire here. We'll wait and see how it goes. But Drift does get the KO on Night Warhawk. Very well done by Drift. Drift trying to take these points away from Sun Chasers. Doesn't want to give Sun Chasers an automatic win. Very good KO from Rockter. But Mario almost accidentally takes out his own teammate. Very close. Rockter trying to catch up here. Seeing if he can get a KO on the Ritsuko that's here in the back. But I think the Ritsuko is just way too fast. Not going to be able to catch up here. Bond's actually in the back here in 10th. Bond's been having a very hard race on Burning Plains here. And does get KO'd here.
Cryptic God 94 at the whims of who we got KO'd by. Bang bang over here. Oh, sideswiped by Bonds. Sun Chaser still with a commanding lead in points.
Absolutely. Even with the fact that they're jumping between some of their positions and people are finally starting to get their bearings and trying to slow Sun Chasers down, they're still maintaining a good lead. And we do see Grand Theft Echo actually taking the point lead with 300.
They're very close. It seems like I see Grand Theft Echo, Sun Chasers, and Redacted fighting for the top spots here.
They are very close to points. It looks like all these teams are fighting anywhere between 300 to 285 points. Sun Chasers, Unnamed, and Redacted just keep fighting back and forth, back and forth. We could see
even
KO,
Unnamed is in this. Yeah, basically every single team's in the fight for points right now.
It's unfortunate. Time Zoned Out might have gotten very messed up on the shortcut, and all of their members might have had a very rough moment on the shortcut. So it looks like they're going to be struggling a lot when it comes to the points total, which is very unfortunate for Time Zoned Out, especially after...
Hellman goes for the script, but misses.
A little unfortunate for that. We do see Drift is just front running out of his mind, and we do see Night Warhawk well, I wouldn't say slightly, but he's pretty far behind. We see Drift is just playing out of his mind, making sure that he gets his...
Try, by the way. Let's see how he fares.
The question is, can this overdrive last him? Can he catch up to Drift before Drift gets too far away? What is going to end up happening here, genuinely? Is Night Warhawk going to mess up here? He's going absolutely insanely fast here. He's trying to make sure that he gets through every single bend.
He could catch up if he keeps up the speed, but he has to be careful not to touch the wall or he's toast.
Question. Now the thing is, he did not burn up like a shooting star, but is it going to be enough to catch up here with Drift? I don't think it might be. Drift getting away, trying to get out of here. Yakuza with his own overdrive, trying to catch up here with everyone else, trying to make sure he can secure at least top 4 for his teammates. He does opt to go for the shortcut right as it ends, and he doesn't have a strike.
He might have an advantage over Mary here if he uses his boost well.
And Drift does secure first place here, and I believe Night Warhawk just secured second place. Very well done, Mari and Yakuza are right neck and neck here. It's going to be very close, going to be very intense. It does. The question is, does Yakuza actually get away with the third place, or is he going to get fourth place?
Popping overdrive to try and get some last-minute KOs.
Can Rockter get any KOs? He's going for it. Gets one.
Oh, he hits that.
Does he get 2 from Bonds? Oh, Bonds is trying to get away here.
Bonds is going to be too fast. Oh, maybe not, though.
Bonds
got away. Bonds has gotten away.
Bonds gets away. Power of having a very strong strike here. Very nice try from Rockter. It looks like Sun Chasers are going to win with 350 points.
But it's close. Grand Theft Echo with only 20 points behind in third.
Yeah, that means Redacted probably is somewhere between 345 to 335 in that range is what I'm assuming. And it's very intense here. Time Zoned Out just finished the race. Very well done from all these teams. Genuinely very, very well done. Very nice to see. Let's see how the point totals ended. Redacted with 335. Sun Chasers with 350. And we had Grand Theft Echo with 330. Very well done. Very, very unfortunate for Time Zone Out. This race just did not pan well for them. They did put up a good effort, though. Very well done from Time Zone Out as well, just like the rest of the teams. One of the biggest things is, honestly, Night Warhawk was playing absolutely out of his mind, and then I think he made one mistake, and Drift was able to capitalize on that and KO him because of that mistake. Very, very well done from these teams. Very well done. Good job, genuinely. Now, that is the halfway mark, so we should be getting a score tally here very shortly, and we'll be going on to one of my favorite tracks here very, very soon. I cannot wait to see what ends up happening.
Yeah, let's talk about the first half of the set here. So clearly, a lot of people in chat are chanting Sun Chaser, Sun Chaser, Sun Chasers, and for good reason. Sun Chasers have been dominating so many of these races, even as the race on the Burning Plains was really close. Sun Chaser was still coming out on top by just a few points.
Sun Chasers honestly has been very dominant so far. Very well done from them. They're putting in a lot of effort to try to make sure they can secure as many points as possible. Now, that doesn't mean that Redacted hasn't been playing really well as well. Redacted's been playing pretty solid. Redacted's been trying to keep up, maintain points, trying not to be too far behind from them. Very well done from Redacted, and we do see, even with that, we do see Unnamed and even Grand Theft Echo still maintaining relatively good points. I believe Grand Theft Echo actually is maintaining better point totals overall instead of Unnamed when it comes to being in third place. So we're about to see these points here very soon. It genuinely, it's now, one thing I have seen is Time Zone Out, unfortunately, seems to be getting messed up a lot on these shortcuts, getting some very bad shortcut taking these shortcuts pretty unfortunately. It's very sad to see because I believe they're playing very well and they're doing a very good job overall. I feel like they still have a chance to catch up, but it's going to really come down to if they can really take advantage of any of these other tracks going forward, such as Financial District, such as Anaconda's Nest, and even Hangar 18. A lot of these tracks that have a lot of potential for KOs. Even Hawk Trail, you have some potential for KO, but it is a big technical track. So we're going to have to wait and see what ends up happening. But again, so far, an amazing series from all these players. Very, very well done from all these teams. Absolutely fantastic to watch. And I cannot wait to see how Financial District pans out here.
Yeah, we know Sun Chaser is definitely going to be in the top 2 right now. Who else do you think is going to be the top 2 after the scoreboard update in the halfway mark?
I think it's going to be close, but I actually think right now Redacted should maintain second by about a 20-point lead over Grand Theft Echo, and then Unnamed should follow shortly behind it. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to work. I genuinely am very interested to see how close these teams are because
I think literally any team out of the teams here could be second place in our board right now.
Oh, absolutely. And again, even though Time Zone Out has had a little bit of a struggle with all these races, has been struggling to maintain points, I do believe they could still make a comeback here, especially on these tracks that are very KO. They have a lot of KO opportunity. Financial District, Anaconda's Nest, Hangar 18, and even Hawk Trail. There's a lot of potential to get a lot of KOs on a lot of characters here. So I do think there is a ton of potential for these players. We're just gonna have to wait and see what ends up happening genuinely. But I will say, if Sun Chasers keeps maintaining their lead and really keeps playing as dominantly as they have, I think Sun Chasers may have this first place in the bag. It is going to be very interesting to see how they play these last 4 races, because for all we know, these tracks being on the hard, some of these tracks being a little more technical, being very hard 90-degree tracks where 90s everywhere could actually mess them up really badly and take their lead and put it down a little bit more. We could see some of these other players, especially with Grand Theft Echo, who had a very good performance on Echo Dome. We could see them actually perform very well on Hawk Trail as well, because it seems like they're very proficient with technical tracks. So we could see them really pop off here.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me. Now, one of the more interesting things that I'm actually very happy about, I believe we've actually seen, we haven't seen Aisha, obviously, so and I don't think we're going to see Aisha, which is very unfortunate that we're not going to see any Aishas. I believe we've seen Bonds and Gabriel, I'm pretty sure, twice now.
Yes, we have seen him.
I think we've seen Hiroshi, we've seen Ritsuko, we've seen Noboru, and we've seen Gabriel. Is anyone going to potentially opt into Mr. A or Aisha on one of these tracks is the question. Will they think it's necessary to opt into either of these leaders, or are we going to keep seeing Night Warhawk maintain his strength on Hiroshi? Are we going to see Bonds continue to play Gabriel and Noboru? Are we going to see Drifts maintain Ritsuko? Wonder what's all going to end up happening here, genuinely. Very, very interested to see how this all plays out.
Great there. So as we wait for the scoreboard update, let's take a bit to talk to our chat a little bit about what they think about the set so far. Let's get the highlights from chat. What was the most hype moment of the Block B set so far? I want to hear you guys talk about it a little bit.
Very interested to see what chat's actually. I'm very, very interested to see what chat's thoughts are on this block so far. I feel like there's going to be a lot of very impressive moments so far from these races. It's John Screamer, of course. Now we have some great comments in here with this. John Screamer and Hiroshi just popping off. Absolutely insane. Really showing that Warhawk really showing how powerful Hiroshi can be in the right hands. Genuinely making this character just absolutely perform. Very well done from Night Warhawk, or as we should all say, the John Screamer. The double kill from Noboru was pretty pog. I can agree with that. The double kill from Noboru was absolutely amazing. Genuinely. The shield overdrive into the wall. That was very well done. That honestly was absolutely amazing. I think that was one of the coolest moments in my opinion.
That was Bam Bang on Time Zoned Out.
Yeah, and the fact that they were able to shield and then shove, I forget who it was, shove them into the wall and explode. Absolutely phenomenal job, genuinely. Absolutely fantastic. Very well done. And it's just, I can't believe we're actually already seeing that be really taken and utilized. Very, very cool to see. Rockter smoking everyone on Hina defies the logic in my brain, but it happened. Rockter's just really good on Hina. He's just a very good player. I mean, again, a lot of these players, genuinely very good players, very strong players, and Rockter's really showcasing his power. It's the same thing like how Prodigy was able to get first place for Lavinia on another sector track. I believe that was sector, I think it was, if I remember correctly, that was sector storage where he was actually able to really take Lavinia and get first place really easily. Or not really easily, but he was able to get first place with a pretty demanding lead on Lavinia. Very well done.
Yeah, and as we wait a little bit for scores to update here, we definitely need to remind ourselves that all of these players are good players, despite what the scoreboard tell us at the halfway point of the set.
Scoreboard or not, everyone's playing out of their mind. Everyone's trying their hardest to really min-max on each thing they're doing. It's just absolutely amazing to see. I feel like every player is going to... I cannot wait to see how everyone plays going forward and how they improve as they continue, genuinely.
Right on. Right on, Joker.
Now the question is, again, are we going to see some more KO-focused playstyles here coming up very shortly? Are we going to see the fact that maybe Time Zone now going to opt into more hyper-aggro playstyles and trying to use some characters such as like Roshin, Frederick, Dirk, and Akemi and really try to get as many KOs as they can? Because it seems like trying to get positions here is not too helpful for them. They're not really able to get it because of these players really making it very difficult for them to actually run up. Do we think they're going to do that, or do we think they're going to stick with their style and try to keep working and slowly chipping away at every other team, trying to see if they can slowly cross the finish line at better and better positions as they keep playing?
That's a very good question. I think it's honestly too early to tell. There are a lot of like team communications that we don't get here as casters, and it very well could depend on race-to-race strategy, how these guys adapt depending on what position they're in their respective block.
Oh, absolutely. I think one of the biggest things is I'm actually shocked with how well these players are front-running. We may get to see another Mr. A pick because of it. That's what I'm shocked about is, do we get to see another Mr. A, or will Mr. A not be picked due to it?
It would go down in all the history books if Mr. A was picked on race 8 yet again. I think that would generate so much hype.
Honestly, the fact that Mr. A was even picked once is what's the most hype thing. Now the question is, with Mr. A from TLR, from BFX, will we see a similar playstyle from someone else picking Mr. A in this block if we do see a Mr. A, or do you think they're going to try something a little bit different? Maybe they're going to try to get their overdrive and then maybe probably hold back, break, and see if they can get back into the pack and maybe use that overdrive to get a couple KOs? What do you think we could see with Mr. A? I think genuinely this character is just a front-run heavy character. We're not going to see him that often.
No, Mr. A is not at all a character you want to be going for KOs on. You just your entire game plan is to go, and the scoreboard is up. Let's take a look.
Now, starting with the scoreboard, Redacted and Sun Chasers, just like we predicted, number 1 and 2. 1,265 for Redacted, 1,235 for Sun Chasers. Absolutely amazing job from both these teams. Grand Theft Echo with 1,185 points, very slightly behind. Unnamed and Time Zone Out, unfortunately, have been in a little bit of a struggle period. Unnamed with 995 and Time Zone Out with 715. Time Zone's Out is going to need a very good run here. I do believe they can make that miracle happen. I can definitely see something happen with this game. This game is all about making comebacks and all about getting a lot of points here, and I think they could do it. Unnamed, I think, has the potential to actually take third from Grand Theft Echo, but we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. I think they can make that happen as well. Sun Chasers and Redacted are fighting very hard to maintain first and second place. I wonder if
Don't count out Grand Theft Echo. They're only 50 behind Sun Chasers.
Oh, exactly. None of these teams can get counted out. I don't, especially with Grand Theft Echo, Sun Chasers, Redacted being so close to one another. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out for the last couple races. Now,
It's going to be a vicious fight for top 2 as we enter the last 4 races. I totally agree.
All right,
absolutely.
I'm coming
And
in
going to final.
interrupt a little bit. We're going to do a quick test race because we have been having some disconnects. Just want to make sure that everyone is okay before we go ahead and resume the main tournament. So we're going to do a quick 2-lap on Downtown Run. Feel free to commentate as you usually do, but the goal is to make sure that everyone is still stable and can still stay within the game, because for those of us who were here, Rey disconnected immediately.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, we had an entire solid block where nothing was going wrong, and now we get hit.
So it's unlucky. Sometimes these things happen, but we'll be back to our usual schedule.
Yeah,
right
we just gotta see how this goes. I mean, it doesn't really matter what the results of this race are, just that the race happens properly.
I completely agree there. Let's see how this goes, because we did see some mid-race disconnects on some of the other races in the first half of the set, so this is mostly just going to be seeing how that performs for the server here. A little unfortunate that this is only happening on Block B and not on Block A, but especially with these point leads being so crucial.
Yeah. Unfortunately, even for a test race, Gregor getting picked here for a 2-lap track. You know what? We should take bets and see if he gets to tier 2, guys. I'm kidding.
Kuzidas in chat. Gregor on the top, the 2-lap Downtown Run is Giga Chat energy, and I could not agree more.
I mean, I'm just going to be honest. If Gregor even gets to tier 2 in 2 laps, this guy deserves a medal. Like, genuinely. He earned it.
And I would completely agree with you there.
Now, one of the big things, let's talk about some of these players right now. Now, from the looks of it, some of these players are actually super hyper aggro with how they're playing, and some of them aren't. Now, Holy is a absolutely insanely aggro player. I mean, just on the last race,
oh my god,
170 points. Holy. But yeah, Holy is an absolutely aggro player, especially on Gregor, securing tons and tons of points from KOs and position, playing extremely well. So I think Holy is just out of their mind right now, just playing super, super well. Very interested to see how they continue going forward. We see the tier 1 from the Gregor. Unfortunately, there's no way this Gregor gets tier 2 unless he's able to KO 500,000 people. But it'd be cool. And we see someone just go into the stratosphere, unfortunately. Like a shooting star indeed, I guess.
Shooting star indeed.
Now, what I'm more interested in seeing is how Financial District will play out. I know we're in the test race, and unfortunately expired coupon was taken out. Little unfortunate, but hey, what can you do with the test race?
Sometimes these things happen. I see in chat there's a bit of a war going on between fans of Sun Chase and fans of Redacted, as a matter of fact. I'm curious to see how that develops as the set continues.
Oh, absolutely. I'm extremely excited to see how it continues. Now, it is a little unfortunate that we had the disconnect. Hopefully everyone is stabilizing, and hopefully everyone stabilizes so that way we don't have too many more issues going forward. It would really be a shame if we have a bunch of teams actually just lose a ton of points for no reason because of disconnects. It would be very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, and there's not really much you can do about that in the way the game currently is, but as we say, we just have to keep racing.
Oh, end every discussion and every argument with a good old race, as they say. So let's race the disconnect. Yep. No more bad netcode. Let's race it. Now, I am very curious if Night Warhawk is purely a Hiroshi player, because I was thinking about it while this test race is going on. I wonder if Night Warhawk is actually just purely a Hiroshi main, or if Night Warhawk does play other characters or even plays members. Very interesting
Night
to see that.
Warhawk in chat says, "Gotta rep my boy."
You know what? If he's got to rep his boy, he's got to rep his boy, and we respect that. The John streamer, the Hiroshi player, playing out of his mind, playing super well. Absolutely amazing to see. That's all you need is to be Hiroshi. Very, very cool to see. I keep wishing Night Warhawk the best of luck going forward with this.
Alright, so I think we're about ready to go here on Financial District. We've talked about this track in length, so we're just gonna rev it up.
Let's see what ends up happening here. Hopefully no disconnects. Please milestones, netcode, do not disconnect for no reason. We really want to see this Financial District race because I feel like this could be a very intense one that's very interesting to watch. So please let us see how this pans out. I am genuinely excited to see this.
Remember, Milestone, this stream would not be possible without your help.
Ooh, here we go. The question now becomes, what did everyone pick here? And it looks like we will have to wait and see. And it looks like we are seeing Anaconda already off rip, I believe. And I believe that's a Roshin on the left. And we got a few other very interesting characters. Roshin, Akane, we see some Fermi, we see a Gabriel, we see Hiroshi still, and we see some Ritsuko. We see Hina. Not surprised to see the Hina. We see Akuza actually rocking KG. Not that shocked. Bam Bang with the Dirk. Big Dirk. Now the question is, how many KOs are we going to see from Bam Bang with this Dirk? Are we going to see a lot of KOs, or is Bam Bang going to struggle to get some KOs here? I'm very interested to see how this pans out here. Now, the big thing with Financial District is the fact that there's so many 90-degree turns, like genuinely. It is very, very difficult to take these turns very consistently. This is where Roshin as a character actually performs very well. Her one-strike boost actually allows her to take these turns very, very easily. So she's able to get a lot of good positions. She's able to get positions very easily compared to a lot of these other characters. But
Night
Hina's
Warhawk,
also
repping Hiroshi, like always, a very strong leader on this track.
Honestly, the fact that all Hiroshi really has to worry about is genuinely the fact there's so many 90-degree turns. So I'm very interested to see how Night Warhawk really performs with Hiroshi. Unfortunately,
Night Warhawk is KO'd. He's back and forth.
Hiroshi getting taken out by the Ritsuko army. Very unfortunate for Night Warhawk here. He might be able to catch up, though, and look for a KO here. He definitely got the perfect boost. He's looking to get the corner. Is he going to look for a kill? He does not. He actually is just going to forgo the fight on this. And he's going to
I think he's just going to try and catch up to Cryptic God here to prevent him breaking away, which is honestly a respectable play.
I can definitely see that play going.
Preemptively shields the strike. They get hit, but it's good because they actually did strike. Proctor barely dodging a strike from Holy Angelo.
Proctor with an amazing strike dodge. Bam Bang and I think it was Equimax both KO'd. I wonder how that happened. Very interesting to see. Proctor, though, playing this very well.
I don't see Sun Chasers on the point leaderboard. Oh, well, now I do, but for a brief period of time, they were not up there. We actually see Grand Theft Echo and Grand Theft Echo at the top of the leaderboard right now with over 300 so far, and it's only left 2.
Grand Theft Echo really showing their power or their prowess when it comes to technical tracks. Genuinely, even though Financial District isn't the most technical track, this is a track that can really mess up a lot of players that aren't prepared for all these 90-degree turns. I mean, there's, 8 of them? It's going to be very hard for a lot of players to get used to this, especially if you're not used to playing on like any characters like Roshin or Hina, where they can get a lot of strikes and really utilize these strikes in these 90 degrees so they don't have to lose a lot of time.
Very God is falling behind quite a bit, by the way. And now
Absolutely.
Drift is in the lead from Redacted, and Nighthawk is caught back up. Jerry with the strike bait. Cryptic does not shield, anticipating it. Barry tries again to strike bait. Still doesn't work. Barry tries again. Cryptic, immune to these strike baits. Oh, what a reaction from Cryptic God! Dodging 3 strike baits and being able to catch the real one. Truly a moment for the books.
And unfortunately, Tommy does overdrive and runs right into the wall. There's just not enough time to slow down here. Absolutely amazing strike baits. Just absolutely amazing reaction time. Bond's trying to get away from this strike from the looks of it. Will he get away or will he get hit from this? He does get hit. The overdrive was
Spy overdrive.
Bonds just can't get away from the overdrive. Equimax trying to catch up here in 14th. I don't think he's going to be able to. Hina's really going to be struggling here to try to catch up. But if he takes some of these 90 degrees very well, he should be able to catch up very easily. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening.
Blind from Equimax. Expired Coupon recovering from a KO here. He's back in 12.
Looks like there was a double KO.
Grand Theft Echo, the team you want to be watching out for, because they're not in the top 2 right now, but they very well could be after this race with a good enough point difference.
Bonds did try to go for the KO on Holy. Holy with a very good line to dodge it. Bonds just couldn't secure anything. Bonds does get hit.
What happened
slows
to
down
Bonds
tremendously
there?
from that. Good question. Probably some janky collision, unfortunately. So Bonds does have to suffer a loss here. Does get KO.
Getting KO'd.
Very good KO. Night Warhawk actually is in overdrive.
Oh my goodness!
This KO's going left, right, and
Coleman
center.
also KO'd by a strike by the road. Oh my god. I'm too enthralled by this action. There's so much going on.
It's just so intense. The fact that
Night Warhawk is back in first!
Night Warhawk just got back in first. Absolutely an amazing play. I wonder if someone's right behind him. It looks like Drift is actually short, just a slight bit behind Night Warhawk.
200 meters on the final. We're coming up on the final lap here very soon.
Night Warhawk really playing out of his mind. The fact that they're so close to being done with this track and they're able to, they might actually catch up to the people that are on lap 4 at the that just started not too long
Here we
ago.
go, Night Warhawk on the final lap. Can he secure the victory?
The question is, can our boy actually continue here? Drift is going to try to catch up as fast as he can, try to take out Night Warhawk. We see Bam Bang in the middle of a catastrophe right now, seeing if he can get anything. Does get KO'd, unfortunately. A lot of these teams opting to actually go for KOs right now since they know that they can't catch up to these.
So look at the top 4 teams. The top 4 teams are so close in points. Look at the top left.
They don't call it Anaconda Core. This is not Anaconda Core's hideout for no reason. This is their track. If they're going to fight, if you're going to leave this track
There's
alive, you're going to be
20 points.
fighting.
There's 20 points. But, oh, okay, it's a little bit bigger now, but it's so close.
Unnamed
Joker.
with 360 points. We are seeing an insane amount of points. I think right now this is actually the point record so far from any race right now. Absolutely insane to see. We have everyone just so
Drift
close to points.
Oh, Night Warhawk and Drift, they're so close. They're 20 meters apart right now.
I believe Night Warhawk actually secured first place, though. We're about to find out.
That's incredible.
Drift does get through here. Does dodge the strike attack from Night Warhawk. Night Warhawk maybe.
It's not over till it's over, though.
Drift with a very good
And
strike.
Drift gets first place. Oh my goodness, Joker. This race was amazing on all the right levels. Close calls, a battle for the finish line. Like, look at the point difference between all 4 teams in the top 4. Wait,
and it's not even over.
Yeah, it's not even over. His yellow is 435 points and still climbing.
I don't think
what is happening in this race,
stopping here. Dude, Bonds is looking for a lot of kills. He's almost got 200 points. He's got 210.
Chasers, Sun Chasers.
Dude, Bonds 450 for unnamed. This is just getting more and more hectic. Is Bonds looking for another KO here?
He's
I
looking
don't
for
think
another
he's gonna
KO.
kill, unfortunately. 450 points is absolutely insane to see.
12 seconds left in the race. Can anyone do anything else?
I don't think anyone can do anything else. Bond's just slowing down. Maybe he's gonna look for a
Bond is trying to fish.
Is he trying to fish for one more KO?
I think it's
Nope,
done,
he can't do it. He couldn't do it.
Oh, wait, Equimax got another KO before time ran out. They have a 465 points.
Holy.
Look at this point distribution that we are seeing here.
This is insane. 465 points. 11 KOs from Bonds. Absolutely insane play from Bonds. Absolutely unbelievable, genuinely. 11 KOs is something that was no one, I think, was expecting 11 KOs from anyone.
This was such a back and forth race. Every single team in the rotation has been, like, they cycled back and forth. Unnamed, Redacted, Grand Theft Echo, and Sun Chasers, all of them were on top at one point. It was crazy.
The fact that even if it looked like we had one team already securing it, like, it was just insane. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, the fact that we have Redacted, who had 380 points trying to secure first place, had what we thought was a secure first place, with just Unnamed coming out of nowhere with a not only beating the score, but demolishing it with 85 more points over them. Like, it is absolutely insane.
Yeah, like, this was not something that we expect to come out of Unnamed. Unnamed was not in the top 3. They were not part of the teams that were in the running. Well, every team is in the running, but some teams are closer than others, especially what we have here with Sun Chasers, Grand Theft Echo, and Redacted. But Unnamed just showing out of nowhere, and they're saying that they're not leaving this tournament. They're not leaving till the set is over, and that's the kind of energy we need to see going into the last 3 races.
I mean,
Speaking
just
of which, we're coming up on Hawk Trail. Joker, I know you have so much to say about this track. So it's
Hawk Trail, oh boy, Hawk Trail. This is a track here. Real quick before we get into Hawk Trail, genuinely, I just cannot believe how well everyone played in that last race, especially from Unnamed. Good lord. Again, we've talked about this. You cannot forgo the combat. You have to play the combat. If you do not play the combat mechanic of this game, you will suffer and you will struggle.
Wait, why is Drift spectating?
All right, real quick, good question. What is going on?
Uh-oh.
We might have a remake. Maybe there's a mistake on this end. But going into Hawk Trail real quick, just to talk about Hawk Trail. So Hawk Trail is a very technical course, very interesting to see. I really do think for Hawk Trail, like genuinely Hawk Trail is going to be one of those tracks that does take a lot of time to really like get something going. The fact that it's a 5-lap track with how technical it is, definitely going to be a little crazy. And as we see Hawk Trail with so many people collide, just literally just in one little area, absolutely just creates a catastrophic event. Unfortunately for them. Very, very unfortunate. Hopefully we're going to see something happen here. We do see Cryptagon on the Nabaru here. Nabaru is not too bad on this track. Actually, pretty solid to my knowledge. We do see quite a few Hinas. We see some Fermis. And we do see the Gregor. Gregor's here. Bonds is still repping Gabriel. Seeing Gabriel still be repped is actually absolutely insane, especially on a track like this. So I can't wait to see how Bonds actually plays this. Maybe Bonds is just going to keep fishing for KOs. And we do see a KO off the bat immediately here. Absolutely insane to see. All these teams are fighting for their life here.
Oh, this short cut is very congested right now.
It's extremely
the
congested.
team's already made it through in one piece for the most part.
The points right now are extremely close. Even for just one lap, we're gonna see if this even decides to stick to closest. Someone just went off into the trees to go meet the Lorax, unfortunately. Yakuza here in second place with Lavinia of all characters. Was not expecting Lavinia here. Cryptic God on the Nabaru here, and we got Hawk actually ramping Ritsuko instead of John Screamer himself. Very interesting, very good shield from Yakuza. Very well done. And Yakuza's gonna take the momentum from the strike to actually get into first place and try to hopefully maintain this. Very well done here. Rocktor with the Fermi rep, and it looks like he's already gotten 2 KOs here. Very interesting to see. Bill, what do you got to say about this right now? Everything's just going out of control here. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Oh, Rocktor! I just noticed Rocktor's on Fermi now instead of Hina, which is very interesting, because you know Rocktor's a very good Hina player.
Rocktor's been playing out of his mind with Hina. Maybe he just wants Fermi, he wants that uptime on the speed from Fermi. Probably has some... Probably see something I don't with Fermi here.
Oh, missed the KO on Ikusa, barely. Same with Slime K on Holman here.
But Slime K with a very good dodge. He's going to do it again. Does not. Bonds with the KO. Very well done for Bonds. Bonds already has 180 points from KOs. He's absolutely playing out of his mind. Bonds is really looking to just take everyone out that he can. Already with 305 points, and it looks like we have everyone just fighting for their lives here, trying to get as many points as possible. Bonds, or not just Bonds, but Unnamed with 305 to 310 points. So we are looking at crazy point totals. We have Sunchase with 360, Time Zone out with 350, and Redacted with 205. This doesn't seem to be a good
Cryptic
track
God
for Redacted.
KO'd.
This track of all tracks does not seem to be a good track for Redacted. Redacted doesn't seem to be doing too well on Hawk Trail. Maybe they didn't brush up on the skills on Hawk Trail, which I don't blame them. Hawk Trail is a very tough track in general.
I believe Drift isn't even playing in this race. So.
Is he not? Oh, that's even worse.
I saw him spectating at the very beginning of the.
If that's the case, that's very unfortunate for this team. They're going to be eating a massive point loss that they do not deserve. They're playing very, very well.
Very unfortunate, but even still, Akusa refuses to let the team down. They are currently in first with Lavinia.
The fact that Akusa is playing so well and he's holding down the fort, making sure that no one else gets this 150 points is absolutely well done from them. And if he can hold this 150 down, he can mitigate the losses from not having Drift in this lobby, which that'd be absolutely perfect. He's just got to keep working hard right now. Maybe Slime Cade can look for a couple KOs. Holy goes for the strike, fails it. Is he going to get KO'd here? It looks like the strike bait. He does slow down and dodges. Very well done from Holy.
Let's check up on Holman here. They have their free strike. Yeah. They're free strike currently. Let's see what they do with it.
And the question is, can Holman find anything with this free strike? Because the fact that he's got to keep holding this is very unfortunate. That strike could have been... The more he's got to wait to hold this... Or the more he's got to hold this strike...
misses Rocktor, although Rocktor was shielding anyway.
I think he also got Slime Cade to pop a shield. Very well done from Rock... Or very well done from Saf.
They're going to try and go for another kill. Yes, they are. Let's see what happens. Oh, they miss.
He does get the shield out, which a little bit unfortunate that...
But Night Warhawk is currently in overdrive.
Playing this very well. He's going to try to catch up to Ikuza right now. Ikuza's actually on the shortcut. He's trying to get away as fast as possible. He doesn't want Night Warhawk to get anything.
He's 800 meters ahead of Night Warhawk as Lavinia, Joker.
All it takes is one good straightaway and making sure that you take every turn as best as possible, as long as Akusa
Sun
doesn't make
Chaser
any
with
major mistakes.
465 points right now also.
The fact that, literally just the fact that Akusa has such a huge point lead here is insane. Sun Chaser, though, the fact that Sun Chaser has 425 points is nuts. Akusa securing 150 points, though, is very well done from Akusa, making sure to mitigate the losses from Redacted. Very, very well done from them. Like, genuinely, it's very nice to see Rockter trying to catch up, maybe looking to get one more KO before he gets out of this race. Will Fermi's strike last long enough, or will it just barely end? It barely ends, unfortunately. Does he go for another KO? He's going to try on Bam Bang. Bam Bang is trying to dodge it.
He
dodges
misses,
it.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately, Bam Bang just gets out just by the skin of his teeth almost. Very, very well done. Does Tommy get KO'd here? He doesn't get KO'd.
And he
Very
lives
good
to
strike
see
from
the
Tommy
end
to
of the
dodge
race. And Ikusa securing first place.
Very good job from Akusa securing first place here. Very, very unfortunate that we had a disconnect and Akusa didn't, or Akusa's team member Drift was just not able to join up. That is very, very unfortunate here. I feel very, very sad to see that. Not the best case scenario, unfortunately. But we'll have to see what ends up happening next going forward here. Hopefully, we can actually see something. Hopefully, we can see Drift not have to suffer the same issue. Hopefully, no other teammates or teams have to suffer that issue. Be very, very unfortunate if anyone had to suffer that issue ever again. Very well done from everyone here. Very, very well done. Hawk Trail getting out of the way now, and we are going to be going on to a little bit of an easier track with Hangar 18. Hangar 18 is going to be very interesting to see, genuinely.
Yeah, we have Drift back in the mix now. Let's head on over to our very next track.
Now, with Hangar 18, I'm more interested in seeing how Hangar 18 really plays out. One of the big things with Hangar 18 that I'm kind of curious about with Hangar 18 is more the fact how a player is going to take the shortcut. The shortcut is not like the hardest shortcut in the world, but it definitely is an annoying shortcut to take 1000%. It definitely can be very problematic for players, so it's going to be one of those shortcuts that everyone takes really well or everyone gets cooked on. Like, it's very 50-50. I mean, even for a 5-lap track, it is, I think, one of, if not the shortest tracks in the game, each lap only lasting about 30-ish seconds. It's going to be very interesting to see how Hangar 18 actually plays out, how these players really play Hangar 18. So I'm very interested to see how this all pans out, and I'm actually very interested to see what characters are picked here.
Sun Chasers now has a very significant gap on the rest of the lobby. So, not to say anything could go wrong, but they definitely cemented themselves as having a good spot.
All it takes is one bad race and not getting a lot of KOs, and it could lead to them not getting that second place that they want, or even that first place that they want. But hopefully nothing bad happens to any of these teams. Hopefully these teams just keep working hard, keep playing very well, and I cannot wait to see how Hangar 18 plays out. And after Hangar 18, we will be on to the final race of Anaconda's Nest.
Yes, and it's going to be really, really interesting to see how Anaconda's Nest plays out, because Financial District, as we all saw here in the casting booth and from the audience, was an absolute nail-biter of a race. So I imagine Anaconda Corp, with a similar track structure, should be about the same way.
I'd be very shocked if we see a scenario where Anaconda's Nest is actually not that crazy. We see actually a very modest amount of KOs or everyone's very modest with how they play, and no one gets a lot of KOs. I'd be very, very shocked to see that, genuinely. It'd be very interesting, like, genuinely, especially for an Anaconda Core based track where it's going to have a lot of potential for KOs and just getting potentially even some good front runs here. It'd be very shocked to see if Anaconda's Nest doesn't get anything better. But let's move on to Hangar 18. Hangar 18 is going to be very interesting to see. I'm wondering what characters we're going to be seeing. We're probably going to be seeing some Nobaru, obviously, some Ritsuko. We do see the Gabrielle from Bonds, I believe, still. I think Roshin and Hina are going to get picked here. We do see Roshin, we see Ritsuko, we see Nobaru, we see Gabrielle, and we see Night Warhawk back on John Screamer. Back here trying to rep the boy.
Yeah, there's 4 different leaders among the leaders in this race.
Now, we are seeing Hinas, we are seeing Roshins. The question is this holding true for everyone else? We do see 2 Hinas, and I think we saw 2 Roshins. There is a Dirk from Slimecade. Slimecade is seeing something that we don't when it comes to the Dirk.
Big Dark Energy!
There's another Dirk with Cryptic, and we see Holly with the Krager. We see Akane as well.
The big Dark Energy in the chat right now.
This is so interesting to see. We got so many interesting characters.
Here's the shortcut. They Palm and boosted the shortcut here to get back up to the pack.
It looks like everyone took the shortcut really well. Kuza actually on his signature KG as well. Saf goes for the goes for the KO. Akuza with a really good shield. He goes for a KO. I think he got one.
There's so much carnage happening here.
One of these this track is very narrow, surprisingly, compared to a lot of other tracks, it feels like. And the fact that it's so short means you got to really get your points as quick as possible. This track could literally make or break a lot of teams. You could lose a lot of points very quickly, but you gain a ton of points very quickly.
Night Warhawk
with Mari.
Mary and
They got the KO!
Now Night Warhawk can start building up a huge gap over the rest of the leaders here. 200 meters ahead is a significant difference on this track.
This is why he's picking John Screamer himself here, with Hiroshi. Hiroshi just such a consistent character, and on even Hangar 18, there's so many good straightaways where he can actually get 2 boosts off very consistently. The fact that the protagonist is actually going absolutely nuts here is unbelievable. He might actually just have that plot armor in him to actually get a good win here. His front run is absolutely insane. He's already on lap 4. He's about halfway through lap 4 right now as we're going through it, or about a quarter of the way, I should say, with Drift shortly behind him.
Okay,
and I believe
a shortcut here. Didn't have a boost to come out of it, which is not the most ideal thing. Oh, but Slimecade, whoa, with the KO!
The question is, was it his teammate?
Yeah, it's his Dirk Bloodthirst. I don't actually know if it was on his teammate or not, but I did see he got a KO.
It'd be unfortunate if it was on his teammate. He didn't get the chain. And if Dirk being able to chain KOs is so important here.
Oh, Drift got caught in the corner there, but is trying to take a shortcut. And now Night Warhawk is just going to blast through the rest of this race, almost untouched by anyone else.
The crazy thing is, Night Warhawk actually has potential to actually get past here. He might actually catch up to some of these people in the final spots here. He could really mess them up. Even if he doesn't get KO points, he could just KO these people just to really mess with them, make it harder for them to get any amount of points here. Night Warhawk does go for the shortcut. Is he going to catch up to anyone else? Doesn't look like he's able to, but he ends the round. We got 1 minute left on this final lap here. It looks like everyone's going to be trying to get points as fast as they can.
KO on Cryptic God.
Cryptic goes down. Tommy might be looking to get a strike out here on Coupon. Coupon might be going to
Mary is trying to contest at the end. Look, it's all at the end. Oh, Mary getting second place with Drift getting third.
Tommy with a very good KO here. Is Bond's going to get KO'd himself here? Or is Bond's going to look for a KO? It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. We do have the fact that we have...
barely misses from his overdrive, which is good, because they are on the same team.
The fact that Sunchase
has
415 points.
Blindsided from behind.
And it looks like
but
this
he
is
gets
going to be
a
the
KO
end.
on Cryptic God.
Good KO right at the end, but unfortunately for this track, positional points went absolutely nuts. Very well done from Sunchasers.
415 points for Sunchasers.
415 on a track this short is absolutely insane to see, genuinely. That is a lot of KOs for not only just Hina, but the team overall. Getting that many KOs is just absolutely nuts. Like, genuinely. Very, very well done from Sunchasers here. Very, very well done.
Alright, so as we did for Block A, Knight is going to be calculating the scores here before this final race occurs on Anaconda Corp. And this is going to be a nail biter of a final race. I already know that much.
I'm very interested to see what ends up happening on this final race, because for Anaconda's Nest, this could go any way. We could see Sunchasers actually secure their first place here. We could really see Grand Theft Echo, Redacted, Time Zone Out, Unnamed. We could see so many different teams actually secure second place here, or even take first from Sunchasers. Sunchasers having a very, very demanding series so far. But even then, with that, Unnamed had such an amazing race on Financial, getting a ton of points. We could potentially see Unnamed really take off and really utilize Anaconda's Nest to get a few more points. This is going to be very interesting to see what ends up happening here, and I'm very excited to see how everyone plays this final track.
Yeah, funny stream blooper that I just noticed, Joker, that it still says Eliminations A instead of Eliminations B, which...
close enough.
Close enough, just a letter off.
Listen,
but yeah.
We failed to pass first grade. It's our fault, guys. Listen, it's hard to count from A to B, I swear. Anyways, back to talk about these teams, though. I wonder, again, I feel like right now we are seeing Time Zone Out actually starting to make a little bit of a comeback, getting more points on these races on average, which is very well done from Time Zone Out. They're playing really well. They're trying to get as many points as possible here. But I do think Anaconda's Nest is going to be very, very interesting. Again, even though some of these teams are struggling to get a lot of points here, just having Anaconda's Nest where you can just go full KO savvy and just be as hyper offensive as possible might help salvage a lot of these points and might help a lot of these players realistically get a higher position. going to be very interesting to see. Even just getting even one more KO on some of these tracks could lead to a much higher placement. So again, we will have to wait and see what ends up happening here. Very excited to see how it all pans out.
I am going to agree with you, Joker. I am waiting to see the scoreboard because seriously, it is anyone's game from these races that we've seen.
Oh, 100%. Anyone can make or break here, genuinely. It's going to be very intense. Like, there's almost a non-zero chance that there could be any of these teams that just randomly get to the... Or not randomly. There's a non-zero chance any of these teams could actually make it. All of them have a lot of potential to actually make it to first place. We really just have to wait and see what ends up happening, how all these players actually play this final race. And who knows, maybe we can see a major upset where Sun Chasers just only gets maybe like 1 or 2 points here. Well, realistically, not 1 or 2, but only maybe 100 points compared to everyone else, where everyone else is able to get maybe a couple hundred. We could see something like that, but it's going to be very unlikely. They've been playing super, super well here.
We have Osterhavel in the chat who did some score calculations of his own, but I want to see the official ruling, of course, from Nightspeed here before I talk about it.
I'm very interested if these are actually the scores and the scores are correct here. The fact that even Unnamed right now, if Unnamed gets one really good race like they did on Financial District and they get even like a 500-point race here, they could actually steal second place. Even just getting a 300-point race. And it looks like we got the scores in, and it looks like we do have...
It looks like they were correct.
2,405 for Sun Chasers, Redacted with 2,235, Grand Theft Echo with 2,180, Unnamed with 2,005 points, and finally Time Zone Out with 1,340 points. Now, genuinely, it's unfortunate because this last race on Time Zone Out, it's a little unfortunate for them. They will not be able to secure enough points here. It's over 1,000 points behind, which is very unfortunate for them. They've been playing really well, and they've been trying their hardest. And the sad part is that they just, unfortunately, things did not go according to plan for them, but they've been playing very well. Good. Genuinely, I hope there could be some major upset. Going into these other teams, though, especially, like genuinely Unnamed being able to even get second or even get first here is unbelievable. Genuinely, it's just so close, it's not even funny.
Any of the top 4 here could qualify. I even think I honestly don't even think Sun Chasers are safe right now. Like that's how close these scores are, I think.
They're extremely close. Just about anyone can really secure first or second here. Genuinely, it's not as easy. It really isn't as easy as just, oh yeah, we get this last race and we're done. This is Anaconda's Nest. Anything can happen here. And there's even a shortcut on Anaconda's Nest, but it's difficult to take. Last time I knew. We'll have to really wait and see what ends up happening here.
This is gonna be a nerve-wracking race for all involved, and I cannot wait to see what kind of strategy is employed.
Now, when it comes to character picks, though, for Anaconda's Nest, I'm very interested in seeing what ends up happening for Anaconda's Nest. It is a 5-lap track.
I honestly would not be able to tell you what is going to happen.
Oh, absolutely not. For a 5-lap track, this is going to be a test of endurance for all these players, because even one wrong move or even one mistake could lead to them losing their position. So, again, we have to wait and see.
Yep.
Going into this final race, who are we going to have? We see some KGs, we see some Gregors, we got Bonds back on. The Gabrielle. We are seeing Hiroshi from Night Warhog. We do not see any Dirks, unfortunately, but we do see some Ritzkos. We see quite a few Gregors again, like I stated. We do see a Hina coming out from Equimax. Very interesting to see. So let's see how this final race pans out here.
These 90-degree turns are so brutal even at the start of the race when everybody's clumped up together. And remember, anything can make the difference. You need to save all the time that you can getting these high positions. It matters so much.
Oh, absolutely. And Bond's already getting a good lead here is actually very impressive. The fact that he's using one of the hardest leaders to use when it comes to handling, and he's just driving away with it, is absolutely very well done by Bonds. But it looks like Tommy's taking a lead right now over Bonds here. Bonds not able to. This shortcut right here is very difficult to take, but Staff goes for it. He does seem to lose him a lot of time because he messed up. Very unfortunate from Staff here. And we do see he loses a lot of positions going to 12th place from that shortcut. Very unfortunate here. Holy is trying to just get his game plan going, trying to get up to a tier 2 as soon as humanly possible.
All the leaders are brawling right now. I've seen every single leader in this race in first place.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of KOs going down here. Tries to get the KO on Tommy, but barely misses. Very, very unfortunate here. Nice try. Bonds and Drift are just going back and forth, especially with...
There he is in the race too.
Warhawk.
Bond just overtook significantly. Oh, but they're so close again if you look at the minimap. Well, let's look at the players here. Holman cornering with their boost. Night Warhawk just doing their best to catch up. Oh no! Absolutely slammed by one of the members here. They are stuck in 12th. Oh my goodness! They're getting absolutely slammed by some of these other members. They have to catch up.
One of the biggest problems here is not only the fact that Night Warhawk is getting hit, constantly KO'd here, but also the fact that he is in 12th place. Very unfortunate. It looks like someone accidentally went through the shortcut the reverse way. Bonds with the KO here. Holy! Dude,
Rockter is up in front. I thought it was Mary. No, it's Rockter.
Rockter
Who
going
is Rockter
crazy.
Is that Fermi? Rockter's
Yes, it's
playing
Fermi.
Oh my goodness.
This is absolutely insane to see. Drift is
There's
just driving
just
away with this.
two people that are just completely broken away, and everybody else in the pack. Let's get a view on the rest of the pack here, and see what's going on there. We see everybody really clustered up together, and even more KOs. Bam Bang goes for the kill, but misses.
He's gonna get
Coupon. Nice shield from Gregor.
He's a shield, but doesn't get the KO on
no,
it.
bad collision from there. Bam Bang is in trouble.
Question is, can Bam Bang make anything happen? Where is Night Warhawk? Is he catching back up now? Or is he still somewhere stuck in the pack? That is what I'm more curious about right now. Night Warhawk is back in first!
He's in first!
Plot armor be dang. The fact that he went all the way from 15th to first just goes to show how well he's playing. Genuinely, he has been playing out of his mind. Holy is up here with him as well. This is why you can never count anyone out in any of these races. They're playing out of their mind.
No matter how hard you get
absolutely
kicked out,
amazing.
You can always come back.
Not only that, they are holding a 400
nice
point
shield
holder
from
right now.
Drift. But Night Warhawk is getting a breakaway. He got a KO on Holy Angelo. That was huge. He's trying to get a KO on Temmie now. Temmie preemptively shields. Oh, everybody is shielding. They know Drift is a force to be reckoned with.
It is absolutely insane. Drift is trying to get any points he can right now.
Cryptic currently in overdrive.
Is he going to get the KO on Slime Cage? Is he going to hit the wall? We're going to find out here shortly. He's going for it. He goes for it. Hits Slime
right
Cage.
Now. Oh, but he gets pushed away from his shield.
Wait, can he get... Oh, his overdrive barely ends before he gets Slime Cage. Unfortunate. Night Warhawk is on a rampage. Look how far ahead Night Warhawk has gotten here. After everything he's been through this race on lap 4, he is now front-running out of his mind. Absolutely well played from Night Warhawk. KO coming out. I think it was a double coming out. Bonds with the shield
that was
to
indeed
defend.
a double Joker. We see Bonds here back in the running, and Tommy, two leaders that we haven't seen in the front that often this race. And Nighthawk has just entered lap 5, and so is Tommy. But remember, we saw Nighthawk come back from impossible odds. It's not over.
But the thing is, even with those impossible odds, as you see right now, Bonds is holding 225 points. We are seeing Unnamed with 445 points. No one is safe right now. If Unnamed gets any more points in this series and takes any positional points from these other teams, it could lead to Unnamed actually moving on to day 2. It is coming down to the wire. 495 points for Unnamed. Unnamed's going absolutely insane here.
They have to make sure Redacted doesn't get any points. Sunchase is not their target.
But they are sitting at 500 points. It is insane. They are hitting a point record right now again.
Nighthawk is about to finish the race. There's only 1 minute left.
There's 1 minute left. They have to make something happen here. Bonds and Saf are trying their hardest to get to any more positional points that they can here. They are trying to hit 500 and with it. There's 530. 530 points, 535. They're going to say 540.
540 we saw them for a little bit. I think they lost
the question is, can they end with over 500? They're at 525. Are they trying to see if they get back to 540? It is going absolutely insane. They might actually secure it here. It is coming down the wire. We do see all these teams are making big point gains here. And it looks like someone is in the back from Unnamed trying to get any more points they can. Rockter does mess up on the final cut here. Equinox gets KO'd by Rockter.
He gets
Rockter
the kill.
Gets kill. And Equinox ends it. We are ending with a 520 point game, not only from Unnamed, but also from these other teams. We are seeing Redacted with 430 points, Time Zone out with 380, Sun Chasers with 320, and Grand Theft Echo with 310 points. This is why you cannot count anyone out. This race went all over the place. Night Warhawk going from 15th to 1st. We're seeing Barnes getting insane amounts of points. Igor Max getting insane amounts of points. It is just insane.
I could not have said it any better myself. That race was indeed a nail biter, seeing 500 points for the first time in the tournament.
This is genuinely unbelievable. And here I thought just getting to 400, even 430 was actually impressive. The fact that we're seeing Unnamed not only breaking that record with 465 and then shattering it again with 400 or 520.
Yeah,
Barnes
this is a completely insane last race to end things off. Unfortunately, though, I did notice how many points Redacted gained. Redacted gained 430, and so I do believe with that amount of points, I do not believe Unnamed made the comeback. I believe
we will have to wait and see. There may be
I believe
potential.
it is a Sun Chaser Redacted top 2.
If not, even if Unnamed didn't get top 2 here, the fact that they ended with 520 points goes to show they are a force to be reckoned with. These are players that, if given a little bit more time and they really just are able to play some of these other tracks a little bit better and refine their track knowledge and map knowledge in general, they can actually go absolutely nuts and secure tons and tons of points and really make it very difficult for a lot of these players that are trying to run away with these races. Playing just absolutely amazing. Unnamed did so well on both Anaconda core maps. They are absolutely amazing. They really love Financial District. They really love Anaconda's Nest, just like how we have some of these teams that really love Hawk Trail and how we love other. It's just, I can't even comprehend it. I'm sorry. It has been an amazing, not only was Block A amazing, but Block B series was just as good. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, we just have to we have to hope that Unnamed comes back in future tournaments, because I really want to see what they're made of in the future tournaments.
And here we go.
Have the final scoreboard. We see Sun Chased and Redacted at top 2 with 2,725 and 2,665 points, respectively. Unnamed and Grand Theft Echo barely missing out on second place, but they both put up such a valiant fight. Joker.
It's just absolutely insane. The fact that Sun Chasers just dominantly performed this whole time, especially with Redacted, these two teams were playing so well. And even with the amazing performance from Sun Chasers, and even with the amazing performance from Redacted, Unnamed and Grand Theft Echo were really so close, and they were just right behind these two teams. It was absolutely amazing to watch. They played absolutely amazing. Time Zone Out, again, may not have had as many points as these other teams, may not have gotten as close as these other teams were to one another, but they still played good. They still were trying really hard, and they still, at the end of the day, did a phenomenal job on their own. I really cannot believe how well this series went. Everyone played super well. Each team played very well, and I feel like they were able to adapt their playstyles so well to how each track and how everything was going. Very, very well job from every single one of these teams, every single player. An amazing job and an amazing series for Block B, and an amazing first day of the Neo Rey.
Yep, and we cannot wait to see you guys back here to watch day 2 of Welcome to Neo Rey. And now, with that being said, I want to turn it back over to Knight, our guy behind the scenes.
Yeah, so let me close out the game because my PC is frying me. This room is burning up. Okay, so
like a shooting star.
Like a shooting star, indeed. All right. So, how did you guys feel about today's show? How did you guys feel about
the
first
so cool
ever Screamer tournament? Joker and Mila, you guys seem like you were having a blast on the mics there.
Oh my god, this was so fun to commentate. I genuinely could not have seen how any of these series would go. Like, Block B especially. Like, Block A was cool, right? But Block B, real showmanship from every single team that played there. It was so cool.
Every single team that competed today is worth our respect, worth our admiration. I can't think of any single one that did not come out guns blazing, ready to put their best foot forward, right? Like, even the lowest score, it's like you said earlier, right? Like, we can look at the scoreboard and see the people all the way at the bottom and be like, yeah, they're like 5th, right? But they're really good, right? Like you still gotta end up somewhere on the scoreboard. But not a single person today should feel ashamed of the performance. Everybody did amazing, and we're still so early into the game's lifespan. There's so much room to grow, so much of the meta to still be explored, and hopefully a lot of patches to come out and fix some of the jank that we're seeing on both the gameplay side and the spectating side. For everybody on the stream, actually, how was the streaming experience? I know we had some hiccups with the sound. I know we had some technical difficulties, which I think I got ironed out. But other than that, like, how'd you guys feel about today? Shoutouts to the Lost Regiment for helping me score keep. Came in clutch near the end.
Love you, the Lost Regiment.
Rockter, I just want to say, man, you put out a crazy good performance. Like, I was in shock watching you play. It didn't pan out this time. But just barely too. It's like, 2490. If Unnamed didn't bring it at that last moment, right? And if you had maybe like one race that went a little bit differently, very, very close. Like in both blocks, we have had some great performances. Watching Prodigy race is always a blessing, by the way. Like, I want to give a special shout out to, like, we have so many players, but we have a bunch of time trialers and time attackers here. We have some people who are just crazy good at driving, who know the lines in and out, who know the shortcuts, who know when to, who know when to brake, right? Not a very common thing in an arcade racer. But thank you guys all for coming out and giving us your support. We're gonna be back tomorrow with day 2. Just as a heads up for anybody who's not in the know, day 2 is not gonna be like day 1. So today we had the eliminations. But Mila, do you want to talk about what the first part of day 2 is gonna be like tomorrow?
Oh yes, I do. So, if you all thought this day 1 was hype, none of you are going to be ready for day 2. Because for day 2, we are going to be bringing back duels from the Screamer story. And it's going to be some of the most intense Screamer that we've seen up to this point in the game's lifetime. And let's quickly explain, in brief detail, of course, how this works.
Yeah, sure.
So, we're going to be doing a set of races with the 4 teams that have qualified today. But then after some races, the points leader will be able to challenge anyone they want to a duel. And at the end of the duel, the loser goes home. There will be 2 duels tomorrow to determine the final 2 teams. What happens after that? Well, you'll just have to tune in tomorrow to see.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I can talk a little bit further about the duels. So, like, if you guys have played the Screamer story, you guys know about the duels, like Mila said. The team in first place, by the time the duel shows up, has to challenge someone else, and they're risking it all, right? It's like you are up front, you're risking it all to, like, challenge someone else, and if you lose, you can go home. We're putting a little bit of a twist on that. If you go in as first place and you're the one issuing the duel, you go in with a bunch of advantages, right? So it's not unwinnable for the other side, but it is going to be an uphill battle. So thank you so much again for showing up. Huge shout out to both Mila and Joker for putting on some stellar commentary all the way through 4 straight hours. Like, you guys have been talking for a very long time. We'll give you guys a much needed rest for your vocal cords. In the meantime, I just as a reminder for everybody, not tomorrow, but over the week, I am gonna upload this to YouTube, and the VOD will be on Twitch. So anybody that does want to watch, please go on Twitch. I've got VODs enabled. I made sure earlier today. Tomorrow we're gonna be back at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, same time as today. And yeah, I mean, honestly, if you guys are not in the competitive server or in Screamer Online, I'm gonna post those again. Please, please, please provide any feedback you have for the stream, for you know, the way we're running the tournament. We've got a lot of ideas for how the next tournaments are going to go and how the next events are going to go. We're going to have things of all kinds, including something that I'm very excited to unveil, hopefully in the next few months. So, yeah, I don't know, Mila, Joker, do you have any closing statements?
This has been an absolutely insane series of events. I could not have anticipated that the races we would see here today would be as hype as they were, but Screamer definitely lives up to its name as the arcade combat racer that we all have known and loved for these past couple weeks, and we've seen so much action from all the players. All the players should be so proud of themselves for putting on quite the show, and I can't wait to see where it goes in day 2.
Honestly, for my final closing thoughts, genuinely one of the most fun series in general. Both Block A, Block B, the players, just everything was fantastic. It was a lot of fun to commentate it. It was a lot of fun to watch it. I learned a lot from just watching the game, genuinely have played. I've learned a few things from what I need to be doing better as a player. It's just been so fantastic, and I am extremely excited for tomorrow. I honestly could not have had a more fun day 1.
Very well said, Joker.
Very, very well said. With that said, final goodbye for tonight. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and we will see you all tomorrow. Remember, 6 p.m. Eastern.